we're on.
And for once, a peaceful start. So, who'd like to recap last time?
Where did we
Anybody
start
else?
last time?
Yeah.
We started with the puppy.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
There's a puppy.
It's fostering.
Small and adorable.
Yep, it's fostering with the mom dog. It's a female
Mhm.
pup. No name yet. And we make our travel plans and run the puppies around, do Ashta's birthday dinner, make him cry.
No, he didn't. Shut up.
Uh-huh. Make him cry.
Mhm.
Talked to the hybrid. We're gonna head out to Fluss to find the hybrid, DX him, and give him a birthday cupcake because it wasn't really his birthday as well, but he has memories of it being his birthday due to the ash. It's complicated. Anyway, gotta go to the Silver Carriage Inn, where he's been working in the stables apparently, and he needs shape-shifting clothes. We picked those up in Anther the next morning. Definitely.
I think
A lot of shenanigans
was-
otherwise, and Ashta contacted Carson.
yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. He's kind of working as a trader right now. He's on his way to Fluss. He apparently
It's a
deals
loose way to put it.
he apparently deals in really bad magic items, like cut rate magic items. And
And also drugs.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Just
So there's a scroll of vampiric couch.
yeah. So, Ashta offered him potential to heal the, like, a dead arm, limping leg, blind eye. Like, one side of his body is messed up because of damage to his head, possibly brain. We don't know if it's nerves or anything.
Neuro damage.
Question
Vaguely.
mark? Vaguely, yes. There is a possibility that Xenia would be able to give him, like, the therapy he would need to repair that damage. And Ashta sent over a bit of Fane.
Yeah. And, possibly a terrible choice, and I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great. And then Rosalind met Issa's new boyfriend, who is an archdruid. of
Right.
breeze.
Okay, I gotta get myself angry about that again.
He was familiar with the old archdruid and close to him. He might not be a bad guy. He might not be against us. This could be a potential ally, but gonna be careful about that right now. He knew Rayla and seemed generally like a sweet person, at least from one short meeting in which he was on his best behavior. So yeah, that's what we've got, and that's about where we left off. As we are on our way to pick up Carson and meet him for the first time. For some of us, it's gonna be great.
Hopefully at some point John hops back in. But until then,
Yeah, we lost him.
Oh, did he drop out? Oh no.
I believe you guys were floating your way downtown over to Floss, right? Or were you stopping to pick up Carson first?
I think we're stopping on Carson first because we decided to also get the clothes from the clothing shop.
Alright.
Clothing shop in Anther. Carson. Give Carson a ride to Fluss. Take care of business there.
Alright. So, you guys float over his general area. Ashta, you get a number of ranging,
Expletives.
ranging from annoyed to impressed to kind of just like, what the fuck, dude?
Like those scenes from shows where someone goes on an absolute tirade, but they have to censor the whole thing, so it's just like consistent beeps, almost Morse code.
Pretty much, yeah. And he's just like, and eventually you figure out where he is and basically stop over top his head. You're free to bring the tablet down with Rose. As well, Rose actually brings another, well, not another, but she brings a dwarf with her, who seems to be helping her out with the tablet.
And Ash just gives a glance over and just protege.
Of a sort. I figure if something happens to me that you guys could use extra hand.
Quick question.
Ash has this like grimace on his face. Just, I don't. It's a good idea, but that I don't like the reasoning.
Hey, it could just be that I have a cold.
It doesn't say anything.
Also, we got a whisper from Rosalind over there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't want to interrupt, but I didn't think. Are the rest of us waiting in the castle on the grounds for them to come back, or are we going with?
Good question.
That's a great question.
How about we rewind like a few minutes and Astra is
Sure.
going, okay, I'm gonna go get Carson, gang.
Okay. Do
Would
you
you
want
like
us to come with you then?
little too
I,
eagerly.
I, uh,
Take your time.
You can say no.
I,
You
Yeah.
can also say yes.
I really don't know.
Does he
Because-
want pancakes?
It's not that I don't want you meeting him because that's inevitable.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which is worse, being able to brace him for things like that, or just kind of throwing all of this at him at once.
Well, it depends on the person, really.
Would it
Depends on him and depends on you.
Yeah.
perhaps it would be best to ease him in? We can warm up some pancakes.
Astra
Wait.
like puts a hand on Caius's what's the word I'm looking for? Collar, and he's just like, I'll take the disarming idiot.
Oh, okay.
Well, if there's trouble, you'll at least have backup.
Who knows? Maybe he's a fan.
Would that
If
make
you need a
things
second
better
turn,
or worse?
I don't know.
I don't know if that makes that any better.
if you need
I'm-
a second
I'm-
turn into a bird,
Wait, was that thing Xenia said, or did Xenia do it?
no, Xenia said it.
Okay. Sorry, rephrase it. I wasn't sure.
No, I said if you need a second turn into a bird.
Honestly, if you need us, there is that, and there is also the fact I can cast Fly on a couple of us.
Maybe
Yeah.
just take Thorn. Maybe I can take Thorn, and you can
There's a big smile on Rosalind's face, spreading slowly.
Rosalind,
God.
I'm gonna need your
I
help on this one.
Like where this is
Oh.
going.
As I understand the potential, and if he's okay and ready and he agrees, then go wild and make my life suffering in your special brand of way. But I don't want to mess this up. And especially now that I've put I basically put all my money on this, hypothetically, because I've given him Fane, I can't afford to have him being put off by deciding that maybe this isn't something he wants to do, or we're not a place and people he wants to stay with. Even if I didn't give him Fane, that would be, I'd prefer it not happen. So, you're better at talking and understanding social things like that, and can you do your best to, I don't know, figure a way to help convince him if it becomes a problem?
I can try. If this is
After that, you want to ask for embarrassing stories about me when I was younger, go for it. Go for it. But I can't stop you.
Of course. That was inevitable. But I'll
Yeah.
hold off for a little while.
Just until we know he's willing to not
Suffer
run
us?
off. Suffer me.
Well, all of us, really.
He hasn't met all of you yet. He's told me part of him hates me, so. And he kind of shrugs and drags Caius off.
Okay, we're doing.
You did get asked if he wants pancakes.
Yes.
Um,
So you-
let's go ahead and have something ready to eat, just in case. I
Keep
can't
them here where they
imagine-
can be warm when he gets up here.
Yes, I can't
That's what I was
imagine
thinking,
he's
fresh
been
batch.
eating very well aside from any rations.
Yeah.
So, Xenia, roll me a cooking check.
Rosalind will
Guidance.
offer any help she possibly can, even if it's just mixing the batter or something. Cutting.
It's moral
fruit.
support. I'll give you a +1.
Yes.
Moral
Okay.
support.
29, so that's 30. 34.
My God.
So, okay, you see, we got magic items out of it, so we kept track of whether Rosalind ever rolled below a 30. Has Xenia ever rolled below a 30 with cooking?
Xenia has, in fact, rolled a 28 before.
Okay,
Guidance. And that was for your birthday cake.
okay.
Wow.
That was the best thing I've ever made. This is the highest I've ever rolled for cooking.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God.
Like, I'll take my big damage numbers, because Jesus Christ, you guys have your own big numbers.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah.
I can do big healing and I can do big animals.
Yes.
Wish I
And
had.
big meals.
Yes. And big happy tummies.
Yes.
Sure.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so it is Ashta, Thorn, and Caius.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
So, you take Caius along, and,
Also, just as he's going, he, like creaks open the breastplate, and just like, and I'm watching you too.
you gave him an alien brain, but you can't let him meet me.
Just, what I said to them applies to you too.
If it helps, he'll probably love me because I'm magic and small.
I.
Or maybe he'll want to bottle you up and sell you. We never know.
Well, if he tries, I'm hoping you'll either protect me or at least cry when I leave. Or pretend to cry. Either way.
Love you too. And he starts walking.
And you, like I said, you get to Rose. There's the apprentice. She kind of nods to Caius.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Hey.
You got promoted, eh?
Yeah. Not something I expected, but yes.
Well, you're higher rank than me now, so
I don't want the responsibility. Honestly.
really, I'll take your rank. It's a good backup plan.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll put it on the back burner.
Wait, are you in the goblin armies?
No, but armies of the goblins and of the mountains work together every once in a while.
Oh, you're a soldier then? Or did you do the lift things before?
This is Rose talking, just to be clear.
Oh, okay, I thought it was the dwarf.
No, this is Rose.
Okay, man, I've mixed up. My bad.
Oh, yeah, she can just I mean, if you ever want to relinquish your rank,
Sure.
I wouldn't mind a bit of an upgrade in pay.
Yeah.
I think I'm short like a goblin. Might accept me more than you.
The tower above most of.
But for now, going down.
Cool.
You float your way down to a Carson, who seems to have this kind of grumpy-looking mercenary standing on the back of a cart, just slowly waving his hand in the air, like crossbow in his hand, but like also very close to his sword.
Mm.
Carson's just sitting in a seat where you see he's got a very interesting set of clothes on. He's kind of got that pseudo-dramatic outfit where he's got the cape over one shoulder, his left, and like goes down to about his knees, and a hood up. He waves up to you with his right arm.
She kind of like gives a weak one back.
And you float down, and Rose asks if you'd rather her be close or give you guys a bit of space.
You're probably going to meet him eventually, so he just kind of shrugs.
Okay. She floats on basically just right behind the cart so they can back it up into it if they need to. You notice it's being pulled by a very odd-looking cow?
Sash to see what makes the cow odd?
Well, just looking at it, first of all, it's green, which is weird.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And not like
Okay.
green fur with like patches or no, it is just green like the ocean with almost like a rippling pattern, of lighter and darker greens going across it, but still very much a dark sea green.
Hey, if we find a green chicken.
Says the guy who is all in purple.
Yeah. Caius does not find this strange.
Caius riding on this cat would be the biggest clash of colors I can imagine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know the purple and test. If you know a car looks good if it looks good in purple. Yeah, this is the worst example of that.
Correct.
Hey, Carson.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good. Good.
You sure you seem a little bit tense there. Did you bring your boyfriend with you?
Nope.
In that case, this one's all mine. And he walks up to you, Caius, and kind of grabs you by the hand and bows to you.
Oh,
You can tell he's got a bit of a stilted walk, but it's functional.
Well, hi.
Rosalind is watching this.
Yep.
Through Thorn.
And as he straightens up, he kind of scratches Thorn underneath the chin.
You could do that with everyone up there.
No, just the cute ones. And he walks over to Rosé and goes, "Hello."
Caius has a yikes look on his face now at this point, like looking between Rose and Ashta and Carson. Just, oh, yikes.
You see Rosé kind of look up to him with like a bit of a lopsided grin and goes, just looks at him and goes, "I could fold you like a pretzel."
Yeah, Caius is having like a emotional facial journey. He's just like, yeah, fair enough. Just like just slight tilt of the head, just, yeah, like nodding, like yeah.
And you can see Carson smile and he bows to her as well and he goes, "I feel like it'd be a rather enjoyable experience, but we can worry about it another time."
Back to
Okay.
yikes.
By the way, Caius and Rose and Thor not on the shoulder.
Alright.
Hi.
Me and my, I don't want to say my replacement grouchy guard, but he serves the function. Name of Mark. He kind of gestures up to the mercenary who's now just sitting on top of the covered cart.
Huh.
What's his name, sorry?
Mark.
Mark.
Just Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm sorry, it's just like I think it was so non-fantasy, my brain was like, that can't be it.
That can't be right.
There is a trope for this. It's called Aerith and Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But then you can, Mark kind of like just looks at you guys and doesn't say much.
Meanwhile,
And,
Rosalind is very quickly feigning immediately to Xenia and Esther because she's there somewhere. The almost a live feed of what she's seeing through Thorn, just so that they're forewarned.
Live stream, fuck yes.
A live stream of Caius getting flirted on. Okay.
Definitely, are you kidding me?
Xenia's
She's
giggle.
not keeping that to herself.
Esther like leans to the left and is just like, so what's with the sea cow?
He kind of just smiles and goes, "Oh, it's to pull the cart."
Okay, but why is it that color?
Rosalind is leaning over to Xenia. Why is it that color? Do you know what this is?
Does Xenia know what this is?
Roll a nature check, both of you.
I'll try.
I bet like Ash
I
ended
made
up.
one too because I was okay.
That's okay. Didn't succeed anyway.
There was
18.
probably a wrestler in Valor Bound Wrestling that like carried around a green cow like this as a gimmick. So Caius is like, oh yeah, I've seen one of those before.
I'll let it slide. What are the rolls? Because apparently I can't see the rolls now.
Asha 18, Xenia 7, Rosalind 6.
Okay.
The 7 was the natural one.
Fun. Actually, you've heard of strangely colored cows, and you know that the green sea is the green sea for a reason. It's almost like magically fertile all year round. And sometimes the stuff there just turns weird colors. But Carson goes, "Oh, I was running an experiment and turned them that way. I tried to turn it back, but he seemed to rather enjoy it."
What
Turned 'em green.
kind of experiment? And Ash just kind of like walks over to it and says hi.
He kind of just looks at you, leans down, bites a bit of grass, and looks back up at you.
Where's my thing? Frickin'. There we go.
Ranger, you're gonna have to say what it is. I can't see anything in the chat, so.
No, you have the innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas to a beast as an action. You can read basic mood intent. Learn its emotional state, whether it's affected by magic of any sort, its short-term needs, such as food or safety, and actions you can take, if any, to persuade and not to attack.
Seems relatively calm, kind of placid as you'd imagine a cow would be. If there is magical affecting it, it's not affecting its behavior, just its cosmetic.
I can tell it's affected by magic by the fact that it's green.
Yeah.
Theoretically, yes.
You're right.
Could also just be hair dye.
Mm.
It's just Bess. She's great.
So you guys are off to Fluss then?
Yep.
Is Mark hired for it, or?
There's a light grumble from Mark where he just nods.
And would you guys like a fast trip there?
Anything to get me out of this swamp I'm about to go through. You need to hear Mark from on top of the cart say.
Got it. Well, Rosé, you good to pull this thing up?
Yeah, just help Bess get around there and load up. Might take an extra trip. Mark, you coming with us? Mark kind of just nods and stays on top of the cart and directs Bess with
Nice. Gives a thumbs up.
which kind of just hand motions. She kind of looks at you guys and says, "I'll be back for you three in a bit. Have fun." And she starts floating up.
That's just like eyeing Mark. Can he get a general feel for the guy?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah. Can Caius also?
19.
Caius, what's your roll? Or is it
yeah,
being slow?
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Little slow. But
So double
Roll.
check. Who is staying
Hey,
down and
plus-
who's going up?
Caius, Carson, and Ashta.
14 from Caius.
There we go. All right. He seems kind of. It's a type of mercenary you've seen a couple times, Ashta. Yeah, to you, he kind of just seems like almost like a bit of a bitchy teenager
Okay.
who's like stuck with Dad's car ride out to go visit his business partners.
Okay.
But to you, Ashta, it's a kind of mercenary that you see pretty often where he's kind of putting on a front of being unassuming and not paying attention and kind of just easy to ignore. So, take that what you will.
Okay. It's probably I should about 14.
And 16. And 18.
Also, if this gives any further insight, the Watcher's Eye thing.
Yep, that applies to criminal history though, right?
Experience in enforcing the law and dealing with lawbreakers gives you a feel for local laws and criminals.
Yeah, I'm using basically that as you also recognize other types of mercenaries and guards because you did a very similar thing.
Okay.
So that is why it's a bit easier for you.
Okay. What kind of weaponry does he have on him?
He's got a light crossbow,
Mhm.
a hand crossbow on his hip, as well as a short sword.
Okay. Anything like concealed or anything Ashton could see?
Not particularly. He seems pretty open about his equipment. Just a set of like a studded leather armor.
Ash will just send a quick thing up to the people topside, just like keep an eye on the Mark. I don't know, maybe have a guard accompany him or something.
There's a quick feign back. Would you like Thorn to go with them? It's not too late.
Sure.
And with that, Thorn is going to open his mouth, and Rosalind's voice is going to come out, directed at Carson. The rest of us are so looking forward to meeting you. We'll see you soon. And
There is a
with that,
very
Thorn is
startled
going to
Carson.
take off and settle on the rock and just kind of like curl up and watch.
Ash just like, oh right, that's it's also you know what a familiar is, yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting you to be so eloquent.
Shrugs. So what business do you have exactly in Fluss?
The business of buying and selling my wares, and he kind of gives a bit of a glance towards Caius.
Caius gives a bit of an eyebrow.
And it just looks like. Speaking of Mr. Caius,
Yeah.
do you find yourself needing any kind of magical boosts, pick-me-ups?
No, I'm not really into the whole performance enhancing magic.
Oh no. More like a good coffee in the morning. You know.
Sure.
Well, I have something you might enjoy, and you see him reach into his cloak and pull out this small vial, and he goes, "It's just a bit of a call it a brightener to your day. Nothing major, just give you a bit of pep to your step, a bit of energy. Sometimes it causes a bit of an upset stomach, but you know,
This won't give me a third arm or second butthole, right?
I can't speak about the arm. The butthole I've never had a report, but I feel like if that did happen, most people wouldn't want to speak of it. So no promises?
The only promise he can give you in terms of safety is that it probably won't kill you.
I can definitely promise that it probably won't kill you.
Huh.
Okay.
I've been coughing all day. Don't mind me. Keep going.
Okay.
And you're sure this won't get me parted because I am. So.
I mean, if someone casts Identify on you, they'll notice there's a bit of magic to you, but it's nothing major.
Before he tries to peddle anymore, just understand that he sells this kind of stuff vaguely, and as well, he's in the business of semi-functioning magic items.
Hey, they all function.
That's why I said semi.
No, they all function. And I would argue they function as intended, depending on your intention.
You said this functions like a cup of coffee.
Not precisely like it, but very similar to it.
What's it made of?
Huh.
Good question. I made it a while ago. He kind of just looks into his
Crushed.
cloak. He glances at something inside of it. Pulls it and says, "Just a root that I found."
Crushed snakes gotta have some multivitamins in it, right?
Yeah.
Does he pull out a root?
No.
He goes, I'm sure your new residents in your head can give you more detail than that.
Oh, probably, if I remember what it looked like.
Why don't you ask him?
You see him kind of like glance away for a second, like get a faraway look, and like, it was a root that I found in the hinterlands. Apparently a very common delicacy of the more reptilian folk who live there.
Should know about this.
Go ahead and roll a nature check with advantage. I'll give you.
Alright, because hinterlands.
Sorry.
All right.
14.
14. There's a couple roots you can think of. One is a very hard one that is often consumed by dragons or anything that likes to like sharpen its teeth on its food. As well as there's one that's just very similar to a radish. That's just vaguely magical. Gesundheit.
Ash just looks over and it's like, I hold no responsibility, but I wouldn't recommend whatever he's peddling.
I take offense to that. I'm an old friend and you wouldn't even trust my wares.
You're an old friend who's been gone for a lot of years.
As have you. And I trusted you with my entire cart.
And he looks up and is like, yeah, I have a giant island to show for it.
Yes. No, we're not gonna get into a measuring contest here. But guys, would you like my wares?
Ash is just like, kind of like got his arms crossed, like tapping his foot. It's like, when's the fucking thing gonna get back?
Yes.
Alright, he hands you a vial of relatively clear liquid. Not very big.
Caius still looks very skeptical. Eyeing the liquid up and down.
Carson has a bit of a big grin in his face. You gonna drink up, or you gonna?
Small sip.
Alright. And it's like a sip's worth of drink.
Okay.
You're gonna. You don't feel anything immediately.
Great. Good. That's always comforting.
And he goes,
No immediate effect.
"Yeah, it'll take effect soon. Don't worry about it."
Caius does weird magic stuff. Uh-oh. Oh god.
And you guys continue chatting with Carson, continuing to be almost painfully jovial.
Painfully what, sorry?
Jovial.
Painfully jovial. And eventually makes a comment as he talks about Mark about like, oh yeah, his name isn't actually Mark. He won't tell me his actual name, so I just call him Mark, short for Marksman. And various other oddities like that.
Yeah.
You do notice him, Caius, eventually that out of somewhere he pulls out what seems to be a cane, and just leans on his right side a little bit harder. But seems relatively happy and active. But after a time, the lift comes back down. Once more, Rosé and her apprentice, and she kind of mentions that, yeah, oh yeah, Issa's checking out the new guy, and you guys ready to come up?
Asha nods.
And you step on, and guys, you're beginning to get a bit of a strange stomach feeling. It's not absurd, obscene. You just kind of have to use the bathroom. Nothing major.
Asher's just like keeping an eye on Caius to make sure, like not anything outside of making sure he can catch him if Caius goes and falls off the edge.
All right, fair enough.
Caius feigns over to Ashta. Now I'm thinking I'm starting to regret this.
Pretty sure your Fane can help identify it if you really want to.
So can I do that?
You can
Feign
indeed.
to identify whatever the fuck this is.
It can grant you advantage on
Okay.
a check. So
Check with
roll me
medicine.
a medicine check with advantage, and mark off a fate point.
Cool. Do that. There it is. 17.
All right.
Hey.
It feels very similar to coffee, just with a stronger diuretic effect.
Huh.
Like you can feel like the beginning of the slight increased heart rate, like the slightly heady feeling you get from coffee sometimes. And you just kind of have to use the washroom. And I'll just give a name to what was on the bottle. Can't type it because it won't send. Basically, in exchange for a well, I'm not going to say the exact exchange, but you basically have a plus 1 to any dexterity check for the next hour.
Huh.
And there is some minor side effect.
Huh.
Well,
You guys eventually come on up. Carson flirts shamelessly a bit longer with Rosé.
yep.
Yeah.
And eventually you guys get up, and Issa's waiting there, kind of just looking at Mark. Mark's looking at her, and neither of them seem very comfortable with the situation.
That little like lightning come out of the eyes anime thing.
Not quite. It's more like two cats who just like really don't trust each other.
Thorns on Issa's
Like I
shoulder.
said, the anime with the
Yeah, and Issa's got the serpent on her shoulder, and just, every once in a while makes like a brief comment like, "Oh, hold on."
Stuff happens.
GM's
in
got a
the
step boy.
background. Yep.
This is gonna be fucking hell.
Yikes.
Wonderful.
But he's got pancakes.
This has already gone so.
Like, Ash is not about to stop anything Caius is really about to do. But at the same time, he's just gonna, like, there's, like
Caius.
he's got about 3 strikes. He's on strike 1.
Hey man.
Sorry about that. I had a little background noise for a minute.
No,
Oh, they're coming back. Hold on.
Oh no.
I think someone just got kicked out of their apartments. That's fun.
Huh.
Yeah, so every once in a while, Issa will make like a passing comment like, "It's a weird cow you got there." Mark just kind of grunts. Eventually, you guys come up. Issa nods to you guys and says, "This one, hanging a bit for a bit."
Ash has this look in his eyes like, I'm sorry.
You see her kind of like notice it and just kind of shift in her armor and like, all right, yeah, let me show you to somewhere quiet where you can rest the cow. If you see any big animals, just let me know. And she guides Bess and to Mark just to near the lake where you would know that Rosé usually trains.
Thorn takes off from her shoulder and just settles back on Ashta's.
Carson kind of just looks at it and says, "Well, you are familiar, but are you Astra's familiar?" Looking at Thorn, obviously.
Speaking through Thorn, no, he's my familiar.
And who is this my?
Oh, you'll see. And by
Well,
the way,
I-
we have pancakes if you're hungry.
Oh, you do? Ashta, I'm almost offended you made me wait this long. Please direct me towards the pancakes.
Yeah, sure thing. And he just starts walking. Actually, he'll just like, guys, just take him ahead for a bit. I just need a.
Sure.
And he'll just lean over to Issa once they've kind of stepped away a little bit. like-
Follow him over to the pancake.
Yeah, I know they're shady, and just have someone keep an eye on them.
She kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll keep an eye on them myself for now."
We have one...
That one-
Sorry.
Yeah, he just like points over as Carson walks over. And is like, he's an old friend. I just recently got in contact, and I wasn't expecting the other one. So
That's alright, you don't have to justify yourself to me, but I will be keeping an eye out.
yeah, but it's your job, and I'm bringing on extra.
That's true. I'll make sure to send one of your soldiers. They can help pick up the slack then.
He just nods and heads off.
We're going to start the island moving. I think it's only an hour or so till Fluss, according to our maps.
Yeah, about that.
It shouldn't be long.
Okay, yeah, and Ash will like give the okay to Thorn to Rosalind that the island can start moving if you want.
And it does, and there's a slight shift in the wind, and you guys can... You're generally pretty well protected from the wind when you're inside the castle, but on the outside there's a decent breeze going whenever you guys get the castle moving.
And Ash will catch up to Carson and guys.
Yeah, it's not hard. They both... Well, Carson particularly walks pretty slow.
Caius is keeping pace with Carson.
He's kind of just almost talking to himself in a bantery manner, not really expecting much response from you.
Hmm.
But you guys do eventually get into the castle, and he makes very quick note of the Firebirds, who immediately has to commingle with him, and he's just like, "Is this commingling something I should do with many people?" He kind of just whispers in your ear, Ashta.
You can at least trust the birds here.
Okay. Does anyone else have this thing that I should know about?
You'll see.
Okay. The bird says hello, by the way.
Yeah, Ash like looks towards the nearest bird and gives a wave.
Yep, there's like three in there. A couple of them like shuffle their feathers back at you.
Hi, 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 hi.
Pretty much.
Hey.
And you get brought into the kitchens and dining room, which is kind of just one area, where you see Xenia making pancakes, and Rosalind, I assume, kind of just hanging out.
Esther's probably there too, I would think.
Esther's hanging out with, oh god, what's her name?
Monarch.
Aquarius?
Aquarius, thank you.
Okay. They can be taking her or the puppies, maybe.
Yeah, probably. You see Ashta walking in with someone in a kind of like greenish bluish cloak over one side with a cane as he walks. There's a stumble to him, but got a big smile on his face, a bit of a mousy looking dude.
Good morning.
Morning, and hello, Miss Elf. Mr. Elf?
Yes and no.
Which one would you rather? I know that sometimes elves are a bit careful about that.
Neither.
Neither. I'm just going to call you Elf.
Everyone, this is
Yeah.
Carson. Carson, this is Xenia and Rosalind.
Which one is the elf?
I assume Ash did some sort of hand motion.
He's not even looking at you.
Xenia.
Is Xenia the one making what smells like the most delectable pancakes I've seen in years?
Generally,
That's
They
yes.
do look really good. Actually.
In that case, Xenia, you are officially my new best friend. May I please have a pancake?
Well, we've all eaten, so these are for you. So I don't
Okay,
think
you're-
I can stay.
I don't
now.
mind another plate.
I'll make more.
Yay!
I'm sure we made a bigger batch. Or you did, rather.
Yeah, Yeah, let's make some seconds and thirds.
He kind of like smiles and like walks up to you. It's like, I would offer you to help give you a hand, but I don't think you'd want the one I have. It doesn't seem very useful. Gestures towards under the cloak.
Yes.
And then he kind of turns to you, Rosalind, and he goes, and may I ask who you are?
My name is Rosalind, as Ash just said.
Well, yes, but
and
who are you?
Thorn is my familiar.
Ah, interesting.
Thorn comes over
Shad just has his cool
curtain.
jaw clenched for this whole situation.
Yep. He kind of looks around and says, is this the whole crew that I'll be meeting, along with the grumpy guard upstairs?
Not quite. There is one other, but she is currently predisposed elsewhere. She'll be along sometime.
And he turns to Ash and says, oh, I understand, Ash. That must be the ugly princess you were talking about. I imagine you wouldn't want to introduce her right away to me.
There's a like a grimace on his face.
Xenia
That
checked.
was
Wait,
not what I
what?
said.
Ugly princess.
Did you call Esther ugly, Ashta?
No,
Yeah.
You call Rosalind?
no.
God.
Well, I asked him if he had this dashing princess who he was going to introduce me to, and he said, well, they're not dashing. And I was like, oh, they must be ugly.
You
And
didn't
he
say that.
It sounded pretty close to what you said.
No, you were completely rephrasing it for your own personal means.
I have no idea what you might be talking about.
Well, it's good because everyone else does, because they do it all the time.
Ah, understandable. Well, hope I haven't offended anyone. And which one did you say was the princess, dear Xenia?
Rosalind.
Ah, Princess Rosalind. Makes sense with
Princess is a little bit strong. It's not technically accurate.
Well, if it helps, I'm not particularly strong or accurate, so let my words be, well, one of the two, when I can.
Also, I don't think you've been called princess in a while, Roz.
I've never been called princess.
Pretty sure Ash just called you twice.
I think you're a lady? Duchess?
Technically,
Lady?
yes.
Something like
my
that, yeah.
No, my father is the Duke. As far as
widow.
inherited titles go, lady is as close as it comes.
I'm so glad we made that whole chart forever ago. He kind of just smiles and goes, well, I apologize if I offended.
No offense. Though I think you
need to work
might,
harder then.
I think you might have offended Ash just slightly.
Oh, I try to do that. That's part of the fun. By the way, Caius, how are you feeling?
Got a bit of the runs, not gonna lie, and I'm gonna.
Caius,
Sorry.
conversation for the table, please.
Oh, he said it's not. Oh God, no. And
Oh,
Caius
no,
comes on-
don't worry. It's not actually anything like that. You just will feel like you feel like that.
Why? That
It's the
sucks.
drawback of the concoction I gave you.
Oh God, I'm.
You needed a concoction?
Oh,
He-
yeah, Thorn wasn't there for it. Guys took drugs off of him.
I
They
didn't.
were
know
not
what?
drugs, and I resent that.
Oh.
I hope they weren't drugs. Otherwise,
They were
I'd
not.
have to kill you.
No, it was. Well, if you consider medicine a drug, then it was a drug, yes.
Technically
not
a
a-
root from the hinterlands.
Yes, just like a coffee is a bean from a tree. What's your point?
I.
Drugs aren't
Suck.
entirely bad.
Thank you.
I've had pure Fey essence, so
Really? And where did you get this?
it's a legal thing.
I know.
Oh.
That's why I'm wondering where you got it from to possibly direct you away from that area.
Ash just like keeps his hand on his breastplate to make sure she doesn't get out.
She's been relatively well behaved.
But we don't. I've been sober for a few months now. Eat the goddamn pancakes, please.
I mean, if you insist. Do you have a place I can sit down? I find I'm a bit tired.
Oh yeah, I'll show you the dining room, of course.
Yeah.
Is it that table over there with floor mats?
Floor, yeah.
Well, I'm eating alone.
I'm also having a plate.
Yeah, I'll make some more plates. Ashley, you still hungry?
Sure.
Alright.
And most of you, even if you weren't hungry, as soon as you smelled what was coming out of that kitchen, you're kind of hungry.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very. It's
In fact, you can almost see like a collection of the younger dwarves kind of like peeking around the corner and like watching Xenia cook.
Just a line of eyes from on the side of the doorway.
Yeah, kind of. It's like stacked like 4 heads high.
There is a tiny little spot from someone's drool that escaped on the floor.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Little puddle.
And Xenia, you notice these kids there too. You've seen them a couple times. Whenever you come to cook, they harass you to get some.
They'll make like just a little bit left, but I don't think there'll be any leftovers.
Okay. And they never really walk up to you right away, but you see one like whispering into his hand, and then a small little gecko starts walking across the wall.
Xenia
Like-
makes tiny pancakes for Thorn at least.
Yes. And when you look away at one point, you turn back, and Thorn has a pancake in his mouth, and the lizard also does, and then it darts away. And it runs over to the kids, and they take the tiny pancake and they start sharing it between them and the lizard.
Until now to make more pancakes for the kids.
All right. I'm gonna use your last cooking check because, goddamn.
Yeah. Just like slide a plate outside the door, just put it there and whistle for them over and leave.
And you get like a chorus of "Thank you, Xenia.
Uh-huh.
We promise we'll be nicer about it next time.
You're nice, you're just...
We love you."
Okay.
And they run away with the pancakes.
Xenia's gonna like go over and sit at the table and just be like, oh,
You
that's a lot
have,
of cooking.
you have some small friends.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, that's been clear. Ash does a small friend right there.
I've met smaller.
Have you? Well, I imagine with all the dwarves around here, makes sense. Where did you collect so many, by the way?
The mountains.
As dwarves are often harvested.
It was we had a deal with the prince over at Citadel.
Oh, Prince Rainier.
Are you familiar?
I've heard of him.
Only heard of him?
Well, I haven't quite met the prince himself. Closest I've ever met to a royalty is a lady, and of course, Mr. Always Looks Fantastic Ashta over here.
He's like coughs on his pancakes.
Hey, careful, those are not worth wasting.
They really aren't. This is really good.
You're still running that joke, are you?
Okay, and he turns to the whole table and like gestures with his hands. Has anyone here ever seen his hair be in a mess? Outside of like the scruffiness that he enjoys having.
Hair in a
Yeah,
mess?
now that I think about it, no.
Not for more than a few seconds, maybe in a fight. Then it just goes back to normal.
And speaking of when he gets injured, isn't it strange how the blood is always just very tastefully done across the chin and the cheek? It always just never gets in the way of his feature. Any kind of dirtiness, just kind of gruff.
Now that you mention it,
He's like sliding down the chair under the table.
mention it actually.
Ashta, don't be ashamed. This is a blessing, clearly.
Clearly.
I'm sorry.
And he goes, "Oh, and it must be a blessing, of course. It's from his heritage, whatever it is, his asshole parentage, or whatever it is.
He's an ass. Yeah,
Asmar.
I got that. Yeah.
Shucks to your Asmar, whatever.
I'd
Oh.
be nice about ASMR.
Yeah.
That Asmar, I'm never gonna be nice to that Asmar. He's an asshole.
It's not that bad.
It's fairly kind when he wants to be.
Oh god, he starts looking lower.
And you see this like maniacal grin on his face. He goes, "Oh, really? When has he ever been nice to me? He's always been, mostly a gruff older brother."
Yeah, he becomes
Well-
a gruff older brother, but gentler? No, he's never gentle.
It might depend on the fact that you perhaps play up the part of the younger brother.
Well, I can't help it. I'm the youngest of 7 kids.
Perhaps that's what causes this perception.
Could be. And by the way, Ashta, you know that's a bold-faced lie.
I was about to say, I was about to run with it, but I'm like, I don't know if that's the intention or not.
No, you can tell it's a bold-faced lie. And you
Yeah.
know for a fact he has one brother, and he is the oldest.
Huh.
You've been putting that number up for years.
Well,
First
they
it was
tend,
4, and then it was 6.
well, we tend to adopt kids
Then why are you still the youngest?
because they tend to adopt kids older than me.
Why?
I don't think they'd be classified as kids then, would they?
I'm the
Well, I
youngest
mean-
in my family. That makes sense. 'cause-
I'm pretty sure everyone has a passive insight right now to
Oh yeah,
see
you
through
can all tell.
this.
You can all tell he's spewing some
Yeah.
shit right now.
Ah. So,
You don't really know anything about siblings, do you now?
I have a vague idea of how they work.
Do you know how adoption works?
Yeah.
Yes, you have a new kid that you did not make yourself.
That's the really vague version of what adoption is.
Well, I'm not the one
Anyways.
adopting them.
Yes.
Anyways.
Anyway,
Oh, I've wanted to introduce Carson for so long.
Good.
Okay,
well,
Two
is there-
things.
Is there any hope of prevailing upon you for some stories of times with, this one before we knew him?
there's like his face hits the table.
It is, but I have.
Too
Actually,
much
alright.
embellishment.
Okay. If you want me
There's
to
no
embellishment,
such thing.
I do have. Ashta, please. I only embellish to you when I have to. I do have a price for this story. Game of cards.
I don't trust a game of cards. Not as
No,
far as
you're
I can
good.
throw you.
how about I make you more food?
Oh, I was gonna say if you guys win, I'd tell you any story that you want.
I'm not terribly familiar with cards. How are you with Dragon Chess?
You know what?
Oh, sorry, Ashta seemed to have a bit of a fit over there. Could you say it again, Lady Rosalind?
How are you with Dragon Chess?
Absolutely horrendous, but better than I am with cards. Shall we have a game?
I'd
I know
be
a
willing.
hustle when I see one.
Do we want to have a three-way or a four-way game?
No, I'm
Just
out.
one on one.
Kai's is like, I'm out. I've seen.
Very well.
I know a hustle when I see one.
It's just for a story.
Real quick, Ash like fades over to Rosalind. It's like you're gonna smoke him.
Yep. And he says, I hope you have a set. I seem to have misplaced mine.
I do, and she's gonna pull it out of her pack, set it up on the side of the table away from the dishes, set out the pieces.
That's above board, right?
Yeah, it's just chess.
Rosalind, take guidance just in case.
And
I'd take the chess game, card game. I don't trust a game of cards as far as a throw.
We'll see how this goes first. But,
Oh, I'm debating whether I want to pull Fane into this or not. She's gonna.
You want to hustle him?
She's gonna feign. Yes, she wants the story.
Absolutely,
Can't you
do
get
it.
advantage with the face?
Yeah, she's gonna get advantage with the feign.
I
Yeah.
told you Caius knew a hustle when he see it.
just want to look the right way.
Which side?
Yeah, Rosalind leans towards the game with this light in her eye that's almost predatory.
I think there's no almost about it. Let's go.
There is a
JoJo
cat
scene
looking
is
at
just
a
like the
mouse.
character.
Oh yes.
Okay, okay.
It's like a JoJo scene, like a JoJo stare down. Just
I'm ready to roll. Are we ready?
Ash just like has his hand.
menacing.
Ash has his face like on his fist, and he's like, "Good luck, Joker."
Some guidance, Rosalind.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
I can't see the roll. What is it?
It's a natural 20. 27 with guidance, and yours drop the highest one.
Yep.
Is a 17 because you rolled a nat 20 and then a nat 15 plus 2. So she won by a factor of 10.
Oh my fucking god!
You very clearly
No.
outpace him. And Ashton, you can see that he's skilled. He never seems to be able to hold on to a strategy for more than 2 or 3 moves, though. It's odd. Like, he'll set up fantastically, and then just completely ignore that strategy until later on when he seems to almost rediscover it.
Is this similar to how we've seen him play cards before?
No, actually. With cards, he was just very unlucky. There's an oddity to it. Go ahead and roll an insight check for me with advantage.
Okie dokie.
Rosalind, it feels like he should be better than he is. He forces you into some very difficult positions, but then as soon as you put up like any resistance, it almost feels like he just abandons it immediately.
26.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
26.
Ashton, this is odd. He's a schemer. He should be better at this.
He's gonna real quick ask his Fane. Actually, he's gonna have his Fane, like, give a ping over to Carson's Fane.
Yep, and he responds in kind. They respond in kind, like, Carson's a little bit distracted, but we can communicate if you need to.
Part of you have been in my head before, right?
Yes. In a sense, yes.
What's going on here?
I would have to ask if Carson's okay with telling you.
Okay, but tell him it's related to the potential therapy. Wait for till he's done the game, though.
Of course. And you do, and the game finishes, and he kind of stumbles back, like, I should have known of the more finer pursuits that you'd be so talented at this as well. And you get a response back from Carson, and he goes, yeah, I know, it's... I can't help it.
That's what I thought.
Hopefully
We'll
that
see if
therapy
we-
works.
Sorry, say that again?
Hopefully that therapy works.
Well, I think that might be the next topic. That was a ploop.
I
You're just
know.
drinking.
I was drinking water, and you know when it like hits the glass at the right angle?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was
It's like you drop a coin in it, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
You see as he kind of like goes to move a piece, and he kind of stumbles and it lands inside of his cup, and he goes, oh crap, and he pulls it back out. Takes it off.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Good one. Good one. Good one.
He kind of looks as well. You get to ask one story of Ashton, whatever you want. Go ahead.
Oh god.
Well, now that it's here, I'm not sure where to even start.
You've given him
How-
too much power.
Let's see. Your first meeting with him. What was he
Oh,
like?
boy.
What happened? Was there anything? The first time he joined your group or met you, or whichever that might be.
Okay, I have to ask him first, 'cause I don't quite remember. Ashton, how old were you again when you first joined us? 17? I don't think.
You could probably
I think it was something like 17.
Did he
That's the right
have?
number of you.
Did he have the? And she does the gesture to her chin, indicating the shadow stubble.
He had a little bit of it. It seems it was perpetual, almost. It was very interesting. He also had this lovely haircut. He seemed to have emulated it from some sort of fanciful bird.
Oh.
You ever see those birds that have like a large fringe on the front of their head? Oh no! How about those like fluffy dogs with the curly hair that cover their eyes?
I'm going to give you a bit of a hint. For one thing, Fane can be used to send messages. For another, I can
Oh, you have them as
simply-
well.
I can simply ask Thorn to communicate telepathically with you, and you may be able to send an image to him, and he can pass it
Hold on.
along.
You guys have Fane as well?
Yes.
Oh, well, that makes this a lot simpler. And he kind of, you guys hear from each other.
No,
Just,
no,
would you like to
no.
commingle?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And he sends you an image of. If I had a file of this drawn, I would name it MCR Ashta.
Oh my.
Oh no.
Oh, that's.
His
Oh.
clothes are all just a bit too big for him.
Oh no.
The fringe and the bangs are surprisingly tasteful, but not good.
Hmm.
It kind of works with his facial structure, but oh my god, does it look like a lost child?
So.
Oh my
And he walked up mentioning something about being a better shot than anyone around. And, well, they put me out to prove it, knowing that I was the worst shot and we needed more crew. So they said if he could beat me, then, well, he could join. So they sent me out. And of course they sent me out because I'm the worst shot around. And we go to line up at the mark. Not my mark, don't worry, Ashta. You didn't know him back then. And so, one of our other buddies, he puts an apple on the top of a stand. And I shoot and I miss. And he shoots it, splits it clean in half, and we let him join. And from then on, he proceeded to have shooting contests every night, because the rest of them would beat him every night, and he couldn't accept that. Oh, don't worry, you eventually beat them all after a couple of years. He was quite talented, actually, compared to, the average Joker like me. Oh, not nearly as good as when he first threatened to run away, though.
Oh?
Oh.
Oh?
Oh, there was some argument about the fact that, what was it, Ashta? Was it a brisket? That you had started cooking a brisket, and, I had taken a piece from it, the first piece, and you were very upset about that, of course, because you bought the brisket with your money.
It
And-
took a long time to cook, and he's still,
and it was-
face
it
is
was-
still like straight down on the table.
And it was delicious, and I thank you for your sacrifice, because it was quite the brisket, even though I only had such a small piece. And then you went to go run away.
It was almost a half.
Yes, it was a very small brisket. And you threatened and blustered to run away and told our boss that, you wanted your severance package before you left, and he told you the only severance package you get would be to, let me cut you loose. And you stomped away and were angry with me for, was it 2 weeks? 3 weeks before you would talk to me again? And I think it was
3 days. I numbered it.
I think it was only after I healed that arrow you got into your leg that you actually spoke to me again. That was only to say thank you, and then you proceeded not to speak to me again for another 2 weeks, even after I bought you a new brisket.
He's good. I'm pretty sure you took a piece of it before he gave me it.
Well, of course, I only took half. That was the last one.
How old was he this time?
Oh, couldn't have been more than 18.
Oh dear.
But he eventually, learned how to take a joke every once in a while and dish back the ribbing I would give him. Matured into a fine young man. Mostly. Of course, every time we went to town, that was always interesting. Ashton, have you told them about the one time that you accidentally flirted your way into a better business deal?
I beg your
You
what?
flirted?
I'm,
Well, he didn't realize he was
Wasn't
doing it.
intentional.
that I can believe.
He was, I believe, 19. Correct me if I'm wrong on the ages here. I'm a bit spotty there. And we went to go visit one of the people we were guarding, their business partner. Relatively young lady, made a name for herself out of inventing a new kind of spice, basically a mixture that worked very well and could be used in many types of cooking. And it was such a new thing that everyone was jumping on to try to get a good deal because she didn't have many partners yet. And of course, Ashta walks in. He's the one in charge of the wagon that day, guiding the horses. He wasn't quite the way with them. And he looked at her, and she climbed on, and he helped her onto the cart, and she asked if he would take her out for a while, and he did. He drove her around to where she asked. Bit of extra coin in his pocket. He was happy to do it. Winking those long eyelashes of his, and
It's not right to turn down client requests.
oh, I completely understand, Ashta. Even when she offered you a glass of wine to go alongside of her as she drank hers, and sat down with you in the inn, and decided to discuss her friends, and invited her friends to come meet you, and the whole time we were in the wagon, waiting to start a business deal, which you thought you were perfectly fine to do as you were. And then she comes out and she says to us, she says, well, you've got quite the charmer in your crew. And offered us a fantastic deal. So, of course, every female client who met after that, Ashta was the one riding the wagon.
Oh,
And oh boy, could he make the ladies swoon.
nice.
God.
Well,
So Ashta, I hope you don't feel too misplaced when I tell you that, you have that rugged look about you and it works very well for you.
Mm.
He kind of just pats you on the back and he goes,
Like his face is not lifted from the table, but he's like slowly like kind of like finagling a pancake under.
You alright, Ashton?
Move on.
You good?
now, believe me, I hate to turn this to a serious topic. Believe me. But I was speaking with Ashta, and he mentioned one of you guys could help me with some difficulties I've been having. For one, I'm wondering if any of you could offer me a couple hundred gold pieces. You know, just for some issues I'm dealing with.
That might be a small
Ash's head goes up and goes, "You didn't mention that before."
Well, I mean, the problem is I just don't have a couple hundred gold pieces. It's not too urgent.
Caius is poor, so.
What is the actual root of this problem?
Well, having a couple hundred gold pieces would be good, and it seems like you guys have money.
Who do you owe?
I don't owe anyone anything, actually.
Insight.
Go for it.
Insight as well.
Go for it. Ashley, you have advantage, because obviously it's Carson.
I'd love
Yeah.
to jump on this. Is
20.
3 too many, or do we need...
13.
Nah, never mind.
Anyone else rolling, or is that going to be it?
I kind of want to.
Caius would
15.
know what someone looks like when they owe someone money, right?
So we've got
What would that look like?
We've got an Ashta 20, a Caius 16, and a Rosalind 15.
Alright. Ashta, he actually seems pretty honest. It kind of just seems like he's messing about again.
Yeah. And he kind of narrows his eyes, like, "You should just try to get money out of us then."
Well, I mean, that's one of the problems that you guys could help with. I don't have 100 gold pieces, and I feel like that's a problem.
There's a gauntleted flick to the side of his temple.
Kind of like cringes away from it. He goes, "Careful, I'm sensitive there." The other one, though, being I have and he kind of gestures towards the cloak and lift it. And you guys can see that he has a very dystrophied arm.
Ooh.
It's not too bad, but you can tell it's much weaker than the other and seems numb, like entirely numb and unable to move.
Caius look towards, yeah.
Let me have a look at that.
Yeah, sure thing. I'm not doing anything with it.
Asha tells Carson and Svein that maybe send a report if they have one.
And they do, and they send you reports, that basically he has hemispheric brain damage on the right side of his brain.
Okay.
He's recovered functionally from it, but at the expense of a lot of his other stronger parts of his cognitive function.
Okay. Xena's just gonna ruffle their hair, like ruffle their own hair a bit, and just. Is there a magical way that they could use, like using regenerate up to a sense?
Theoretically, yes, you could. There's a game of chess being offered.
Yeah.
You could theoretically regenerate the brain tissue, which, while it wouldn't fix the issue, it would allow. It would basically give uncoordinated brain tissue that he could then, through physical therapy, try to make work again.
Anything the Fane can do to help, just to sort of expedite it with the sort of physical therapy stuff that may have to go into it?
Yeah, they would basically be taking a manual role in helping with rewiring. So it would happen much faster, basically akin to you guys doing your training.
Okay.
Could it be done with like training in theory?
It's theoretically a very similar process, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna try something.
Oh, by all means.
And okay, let's just see.
And please don't push yourself. You've already made a wonderful set of pancakes. I've been living with this for a while now.
No, I need to show you I'm actually useful with magic.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a moment. The magic of cooking is not one to be doubted.
Alright. Give me a minute. Seems like taking out just prayer wheel holy water because you've noticed the druid spell it needs that stuff.
And he kind of like lifts the arm with his other arm and sets it on the table so you can work with it.
Yep, start setting it up, trying to cast it in the area of where the hemispheric damage would be.
Okay.
To their knowledge, and also towards the arms.
Okay. Go ahead
Slowing
and
it
roll
up.
a medicine check.
Woohoo! We're gonna use Fane for advantage on that sucker, and
Sure thing.
could I use guidance? But this... Okay. Spell takes a minute to cast, but could I use guidance before I cast it just to...
Yes, because you're using guidance for the knowledge of how to use the magic.
Okay.
If it was a minute-long spell and you had to do this during the casting time, you would not be able to.
Okay.
But because it's beforehand, you can.
27.
27. You've got a pretty solid idea of where you need to do it. You basically get informed from the Thane with a bit of extra prodding and asking about, and integrating your knowledge with theirs as well. That he essentially has a large cavity of dead flesh in the brain, and that's what you're trying to heal.
Yep, so 7th level. Regenerate. Trying to target on that part of the brain, but on the arm to try and get the nerves sort of that run through to sort of start talking to each other again.
Go for it. And if you can click regenerate for me.
I did.
Oh, it's just my thing being slow. All right.
You're just
When I say it,
not
I'll say
following
it.
right now.
Yep.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I'll just check it later to make sure what I say works. I'm pretty sure I know how this works. Yeah, so you see him kind of focus for a second, and he starts like coughing and goes, "Oh, it's a very odd feeling." And actually, this is going to be a bit gross. Fair warning.
That's alright.
No, this is out of character. This is going to be a bit of a gross
Oh.
description. Fair warning.
Hoorah.
He kind of like sneezes, and a very gross-looking loogie comes out.
Oh! Oh!
Because that's actually a thing that can happen. Fun fact. Not usually like this.
Brain?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that's a thing. That's okay.
it seems like he has sneezed out the dead flesh.
Well, the flesh
Ouch.
is gone, so that gives it room to grow back. Better flesh. It's gonna be slow going, but
You see him kind of like staring at the gross thing on the table. He's like, "I am putting a lot of trust in you right now."
it's gonna be slow going for about an hour.
As Russell and Asher are playing, Asher just like looks at Russell and is like, "Don't look over there right now."
Thank you for the warning. I will
Is he
not.
just like blocking over, sitting on like the table, trying to block view?
Yeah, you could swipe it off. It's not particularly large.
Yeah, I should have cleaned that up.
It's gross, obviously.
Yeah.
Reminds you a little bit of the more gross bits of the X-Dragon.
Yeah, Xenia's not grossed out. Xenia's removed entire X pieces of spinal and muscle.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was fun. Well, it's better than growing yourself a new arm.
And he kind of just, as he's waiting for it to finish working, and he just asks, like, "So, I know therapy involves more than just a single casting of a spell. What am I gonna have to practice?"
Probably moving it. Probably just getting it active again because it's starting. It's the nerves trying to talk to each other again. I'm not smart. I'm just knowing what I just know what I'm doing.
Okay. Do you know if this will help the less physical issues I'm having? And for the first time, you seem actually have a bit like a serious face on him.
Would the regeneration of the part of the hemisphere fix that? Like, help at least boost it so we could relearn it?
Yeah, so as long as during that differentiating process, basically the process of letting each part of the brain rewire itself, he practices the stuff he wants to fix, he will begin to gain that ability back. But he has to practice it during the healing process. If he waits too long, it probably won't work.
Well, you better start playing chess at this point because your brain's growing back fairly quickly. Whatever sort of popped out of there.
Ah. Ashta,
Yeah.
your friends are really cool but really weird.
You're not one to talk.
Oh, I think I am. Takes one to know one.
Also, we've all done things with our vein before with training things. It might be a similar process for you, so
Yeah. It's taking apart multiple dragons. Buddy and Z's just gonna give him a light tap on the cheek and sit back down.
He kind of just nods like, "I believe that. You were a elf of many talents."
I'm an elf of many. Yeah, Zia does not want to explain the second elf right now.
I'm an elf of many elves.
He's an elf in the basement.
I'm an elf of many existences.
There's an elf on the shelf, there's an elf of talents, and an elf in the basement.
He's an elf in the basement, and Zia like stops and I'm just like,
As a
I-
reminder, the kitchens are in the basement.
Oh, my child. Yeah.
I I hope this works. I have to admit, I'm very excited.
It-
Do I owe you anything?
Only more stories, honestly.
I feel like I owe whatever you ask now, so ask away.
Astra puts a hand up.
Yes?
Also, we're starting something up here.
I assumed as much.
Bit of a, I don't know what to call it, a town, a village, a
Society.
Settlement.
non-aligned settlement. If you've got general knowledge and understanding of, like, mercantile stuff, I'm not going to ask you to repay anything by helping us, but take a consideration.
Yeah, if there's... It's a growing settlement, it's a good place for business. As long as you'll have me. And unfortunately, Mark is part of the package.
And Ashton's like, if that's the case, we're going to need to know more about Mark.
Well, I mean, how much do you need to know? Do you need to know my relationship to him? Do you need to know his parents? Do you need to read his credentials? What do you need to know?
Where you found him, how long you've known him. Well, you can vote for him, vouch for him, damn it, words. Considering you mentioned when I first talked to you, not knowing if he was going to stab you.
He's just kind of like that, a bit of a grouch. I mean, I can tell you I know him pretty well. You know, he seemed kind of looking a bit nervous. I was like, I like to think I know my boyfriend pretty well, but you know, it's not.
There it is.
Oh.
He's odd, but protective.
Well, lucky for you, we have a clause with new people saying they can have a +1.
Well, I mean, if he's the new person, can he bring another cripple like me? Because I'm only out at a half right now.
It's you and
A
him.
few hours.
You are the invitee.
And we're working on making that person whole again, so.
Well, I'm a whole lot of a problem, but hopefully I'll be very useful. He's trustworthy. Don't worry. He, you may not think we get along very well, but we understand each other. And, he doesn't like new people.
It just kind of looks over. It's like, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. As for where I met him, it was, well, I was looking for a mercenary, and he volunteered. I offered him a decent price to remain loyal to me. And eventually he asked for a promotion. And I said, to what? You're already captain of my guard. And he said, to my boyfriend. And I said, yes. Really, he's quite sweet.
Yeah, sure thing.
You don't believe me, do you?
He's just, no, just. I believe you.
I promise you, he cleans up wonderfully.
Sure he does.
That'd be a sight to see.
It's a dark
It would be. I like to think he is anyways.
Very good
Huh?
thoughts.
Well, Ashton, I must admit, he can't quite match up to you in your natural state, but he gets pretty close.
I don't even want to get into the implications there.
Weird.
However, if he knows how to shoot a crossbow and general mercenary defense guard, then I'm sure he could work with Visa.
Or he could just be my own personal guard as I relearn my new, well, old, I suppose, skills.
You
Is
just
there anything you desperately want me to begin seeking trading?
Ashley looks at the group.
We're fairly well supplied for time being, and we're working on making sure that we can be self-sufficient. However, another pair of eyes going over our stores and records, our numbers, figuring out what might be needed and what might be required as a safety net. That would be welcome.
Well, I would recommend a very large net around the edge of this place. It just seems like a safety hazard, I'm just saying.
Well, so far we are keeping everybody to rather the center. We have the castle, and then there's a village that at some point we would like to repair and refit for beings of our size.
How about this? When you guys go to Fuss, allow me to speak to a few of my contacts, and next time we're in the Ventiel Aconitum area, allow me to speak to some folks there. I have a few connections with those who are good with difficult farmland without the requirements of magic for those who can't afford it.
That would be helpful.
Especially that latter part.
Yes. Not all of it is permanently sustainable if you maintain it for a long period of time. But to at least get things started, as long as the people are careful with how they do things, it could very much quicken the process.
I guess another thing to mention is we're doing our best to stay very unaligned with current politics.
Oh, I imagine that's why you're going to Fluss.
And, well, I have other business in Fluss, but also we're trying to stay unaligned from any current standards and practices.
Alright.
You mentioned non-magical farming. We're trying to keep away from anything like that.
Trying to keep away from non-magical or magical?
Magical.
Alright. Yeah, I know a bunch of folks who just sell fertilizer, good tools, and good seeds. They're willing to work and prepare the land for a decent price. They're kind of mercenary farmers, if you would. They prep land for being sowed later on. Thankfully, one of them owes me for helping out with some personal issues, so I should be able to get something going there. That being said, I'll need a rather large area, and while this castle is nice, I feel like it's better suited to the village.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
Do you have a guard group, you said, right?
Of sorts.
We have
Are they
Fine.
necessary around the castle? Do you trust the people here?
generally trust the people here, I think.
That being said, we should always have guards everywhere, at least in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh, I realize that.
But if you're asking for a escort party, that could probably be arranged.
Oh, not for myself, no. I'm not quite the type for that anymore. But, Bark is part of a mercenary company. You could probably broker some kind of deal. Let the folks you have here be the ones in charge of who goes where.
This is Fluss we're talking about, that he'd be getting them from, yeah.
No, he works from where we used. He's actually not directly connected, but from a sister company of who we used to work for, Ashta.
Uh,
New management and all, but
have you talked to that company in the time?
I have. They provided me with the means to start my own merchanting, which I thank them for often. So I'm a bit close to them, yes.
Was there like a compensation you got for how things went?
Of sorts. I was brought back, and the only identifying thing I had on me was the emblem. So they brought me to there. They took care of me, and we've known each other for a while. They supported me. A couple of the older ones who had retired already gave me an initial investment. When I started making enough money, I paid them off, and here we are.
Okay. Asher kind of like fidgets and moves and just like, okay, fine. And he opens up the breastplate and pulls at Rayla.
She's kind of very startled, and so is Carson. She remains invisible because she's not quite sure what you're doing here.
Well, if you're meeting everyone here.
He looks down, and Rayla kind of pauses, like, hi! And he jumps a bit, and... Okay. Hold on.
He was told.
You've had a
about
Fae in your pocket this whole time. You didn't tell me.
He was told.
Huh.
Not this whole time.
Is she your familiar?
No. But she helped me get from when you last saw me to where I am now.
Ah. Well, in that case, I think I have someone who I owe thanks to. He kind of looks towards Rayla and offers it a finger shake. She grasps it with her hand. She introduces herself and they speak for a minute. And he kind of just looks down like, thank you, Rayla, for bringing young Ashton back to me. She kind of blushes a little bit and fidgets uncomfortably.
Not that young. He looks down and is like, are you flustered?
Well, I mean, you thanked me before, but not like that. That was very sincere.
I would if I knew how.
Never quite as direct, you know?
He wasn't there as much. I guess. I don't know.
No, I remember when he saw you last.
Yes, I barely do.
I know. It's nice to see the change.
To catch everyone else up to speed, I was in a drunken hole last I saw Carson.
Physically and emotionally. You hear from Carson.
And if you couldn't guess by now, I'm off everything.
I assumed as much.
We know.
You've more to Carson, but
No, it's not easy to do, Ash. Glad you did.
whatever. Okay, that's enough of that. And he picks up Rayla and puts it back. And it's like,
He kind of smiles at you and like wraps his arm around you, like, oh, you're still just all trying to be tough on the inside, but you're like a crab. You're soft on the inside.
Asher kind of grabs both sides of his cheeks with a gauntleted hands, and just like,
Is that why you might call him crabby?
It would be, yes. And he kind of grins at you, Ash, and goes, "Ha, joke's on you." And he points to his left cheek. I can't feel that one.
you gotta presses in the thumb on the other cheek a bit more.
He just keeps smiling at you.
Also, I guess of right now, we're technically your landlords.
No. She's my landlady. She's the only lady I see here. I don't see any lord. Gesturing towards Rosalind.
God, don't do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Lord Caius all suddenly?
No, I just no.
And are you Lord Ashta?
Gus does have military rank at the very least.
Well, yes, but anything important?
Goblinoid army.
They're south. I don't care. And are you in charge, elf?
Nah, I'm just certified by the government, which is pretty easy.
Yeah, and also we're trying to keep government out of here. What are you doing here?
Considering
I don't
that
know.
Xenia is the elf who just, well, granted a path towards healing.
Oh, I will do anything that elf asks me, but they're not my land elf.
Can you use
How
the
about
term
you
other
don't
than
call me
elf?
elf?
I don't know whether to use landlord or landlady.
You can just call me Xenia.
Alright, Landzenia.
That... Sure.
There's no fighting in this, clearly.
Out of character is the one in the basement earthing you.
Just a bit.
That's... yeah. We need to find winds and fire Xenias.
But all that changed when the Fire Xenia attacked.
Fuck.
And Asher might just over the course of the next, assuming there's any more travel time to Fluss, he'll just kind of maybe recount with the group some of the things that have happened during the game.
And you do. It's a relatively short trip, though. And you very quickly get a ping mentally, Rosalind, that destination has been reached.
We're here. So,
So quick.
if you'd like to collect your cart and significant other, we'll have a platform ready to take you down so you can conclude your business. See if you need any supplies while you're there, any contact. We're going to be taking care of our own business, and we'll meet back here. How long would you say you would need? A few hours?
The more time you give me, the more I can get ready.
Everybody else?
Also, maybe take 5 minutes, introduce yourself to the monarch.
Oh, there is a monarch around here.
Ah, yes. The true landlady.
Oh?
Yes, well, you'll see. Ask one of the Firebirds to guide you.
Alright, and he kind of looks up, and one of them flutters down in front of him. This one seems to be Askyar, as per usual. He seems to be fond of guarding you guys.
I like to imagine that because he's not used to Feign, anytime he uses them, he just kind of like narrows his eyes and furrows his brow and thinks really hard.
A little bit, yeah, just a bit. Xenia, roll a quick, words are hard. Medicine check.
Medicine.
Oh boy.
24.
24. You're not sure what kind of effect will happen if he focuses on Feign training, on just being better with his Feign while he's regenerating the brain cells.
Nice.
It's an interesting thought that occurs to you.
It's just Xenia's gonna like write it down in their notebook and like walk.
Yep.
And that also, as they're going, Ashley will mention that also the landlady is versed in Feign, so...
So should I attempt to commingle?
No.
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 I said
it's-
versed.
Yes. Are you folks not?
Let me put it this way. It would be like a puddle asking the ocean to mingle.
Ah. Unfortunately, I'm a rather dry puddle anyways, so I'll be very careful.
But she
Yes.
might have some words of advice for your
Situation.
therapy going on.
I'll be happy to speak to her then. Though briefly, as I do have business to attend to.
Yep, just
We as
politeness.
Oh, of course. And you see him start walking, and as he goes and head up the stairs, eventually one of Xenia's squad helps him up and guides him to where the monarch alongside the Firebird.
Xenia's gonna tell that one guy in the squad just to have the rest of the squad sort of watching over him. Just because they're all first healers.
Yeah,
I want-
and a couple of them do. They basically rotate out, being around him in case he needs them.
Rosalind's gonna send some runners to go and ask Rose if she and or her apprentice would be available for a lift down to Fluss soon, and another to Issa and Mark to let them know we're at Fluss. Mark and Cart and Carson are all going to be going down there with the lift.
And you get pretty swift responses that, yeah, he's just happy to basically make sure that everyone's in order, gets guide them towards where Rose is, and help organize that. And Rose is happy to do a lift as always.
The rest of us, I believe we can make our own ways down. Ashta, you have...
Yep.
Oh, you haven't introduced Lucy to Carson.
Oh, right. Well, that can be when he gets back.
On the way down.
Also of note, I just want us to be walking and we just all get a ping of fans. Like, that's a big bird.
Oh, oh wait for it.
Okay.
Oh god.
That will take care of Ashta, possibly one other. I can cast Fly on up to 3 people.
Lucy can, yeah, then...
We don't need to wait for the lift to go down and back up and then down again.
I can fit probably 2 people with Lucy.
You can turn into a bird.
More if they're smaller.
Well, in that
You
case,
can turn
if
into a ferret.
Xenia turns into a very large bird, then they can carry myself or Caius, and then the other goes with Ashta. I think
I
that
can-
Esther is a little busy.
I can fit 2 people on Lucy. Save a spell slot.
They can turn into a ferret.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
if
could
it's...
yeah, you could theoretically fit everyone on Lucy as long as Xenia remains a animal.
Okay.
Mhm.
That
Yep,
works.
save your spell slots.
Yeah. Before they go on, Xenia is going to just pull Rosalind aside for a hot second.
Alright. Yep.
just a thing, Rosalind. If there's time today, do you mind proposing if we go east of Lentiel?
East of Lentiel. Hmm.
Remy.
Mm-hmm. I was already planning on it.
Oh, great. I
Now-
just need to explain it to everyone else, don't I?
How about we take care of any business in Fluss? We tell Carson and Mark to be ready to return. It would be about an hour to Lentiel. What time is it right now? Is it before noon? Around noon?
Approaching noon.
Alright, so it's like 11:45 right now or something.
Mhm.
We can... When is... We're coming out of winter, so sunset's still kind of early? Is that a thing?
Relatively, yeah.
Alright, okay.
Maybe 6, 7.
If we give them about 3 hours, maybe 4, then we should be east of Lentiel well before sunset, and before any camp might be made. And probably easier to offer a room on the island, if they should like.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I'll tell them 4
It's gonna be
hours.
so awkward. It's gonna be so awkward.
It's alright.
Okay.
And if you'd like, the fly spell is available.
Well,
I was considering turning into a bird, just going down on my own.
If you need any help carrying anyone back up, just say the word and I'll be down as soon as I can.
Thank you so much.
cool.
So question.
Anything.
Side note, what range is fly?
Concentration up
Touch?
to 10 minutes, touch range.
So could Thorn not cast that on them?
Very true.
Oh, I can
I know you forget about that sometimes.
I do.
Cast Thor.
I never really have anything to use except for fly for that, so yes.
Oh, I could do the Superman thing of just bridal carrying her up.
But pretty cool.
I have +7 the strength.
Keep in mind that
do.
there is also a small child and she might be traveling
There's
with
the
others.
child. Exactly.
So,
Be careful about that.
So we can scare multiple people with the looming shadow.
Exactly.
They've seen it before.
They have, and it was very looming.
Okay, yeah.
Very shadow.
See, he's gonna give the most awkward thumbs up and then go to catch up.
Alright, so you all fly down to Fluss, and you guys heading into the city, to the outskirts of the city. Where are you choosing to land down?
outskirts.
We'll land the outskirts.
Okay. So, as you land, Ashton, you're relatively familiar with this. You've heard of stuff like this. Rosalind probably as well. Kais, you've probably been here a couple times.
Yeah. Probably,
Fluss
yeah.
is odd. You guys are very much used to the different cities and most of the country, where most houses are, if not for a whole extended family, for multiple. Very few people live with less than 3 people in the same house. Now, oftentimes it's
Or
going to be
5.
separated, but it's all long houses or the large crystals. Most of the time, there's a community aspect to where you live. And that's just part of the culture. Fluss doesn't have that. Nor does it have the kind of large-scale structures at all. Every building kind of just seems like it was built with no regard for any other person around them. None of the wood matches, none of the materials match. None of them are a consistent height, consistent doors, anything. And they're all individualized, very small relative to what you're used to. It's just a part of the culture here, as Fluss is known for having the fewest druids of anywhere in the country. Most of them don't have the time to build houses. They're more concerned with the farmers, as Fluss needs to produce a lot of its food through magical means, as it's very close to the least hospitable land.
Big old pile of boxes.
Yeah. So it's very haphazard, everything in the city, compared to what you're used to. Winding streets, no major streets except for where just no one seems to build a house. And every once in a while there's just a house in the middle of a large street because someone chose to build it there and no one stopped them. Ashta, immediately you are uncomfortable in the city. Everywhere you look, there's something shady going on, especially in the outskirts.
Hmm.
But for the most part, people seem friendly enough. No one really pays you much attention. They kind of give you odd looks. There's a lot of Genasi around here, a lot of Sea Elf. A few Tritons actually as well. And yeah, odd races all around. It's very a mixed bag of a city.
Well, I have my business to attend to, and I'm not sure I should bring all of you along.
You did say. We did
Yeah.
tell you we were coming, just in case.
On the sidelines, not
Yes.
with the direct meeting.
Oh, I understood direct meeting.
Uh,
We are your backup, Ashta. If anything goes wrong, even if it's just some sort of terrible backlash to whatever this is going to be, we need to be there.
that's fine. Just maybe just send Thorn with me and be in the room next to me or something.
All right.
I don't want to set him off.
If there is an interior and an exterior, we will wait outside, but in very easy distance for trying to reach you.
I prefer it that way.
Good.
Just I don't want to overwhelm him.
And Ashta, I'm gonna ask you this because I want to check so I don't have to retcon later. You did mention bringing him a dog. Did you bring one of the puppies or no?
Oh yeah, that was a thing a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was a long time ago.
Huh.
You do have the vase with you. You could hop in and grab one if you need to. I'm just asking in advance.
Yeah. It's probably something I should have thought of. Fuck.
That's okay. It can be a thing for later.
Okay.
Are the puppies old enough? I thought they were still nursing.
Most of them are.
Yeah. That he didn't. Did he say it was like the next time we'd meet him, or
No, you just
as a
mentioned that you're looking into it.
Okay, yeah, then he'll keep that on standby, and also, if I'm remembering correctly, it was with the kind of like qualifier of dealing with the X.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he'll just
That's why I just want to make sure.
yeah, then that's good. He'll he won't have a puppy on him.
No worries. And yeah, so you start walking. How do you guys choose to find the silver coach?
If Ed can just, with his little feature, like understanding what this town's about, be able to better get directions.
Yeah, through asking people, but it's like I said, there's no street signs or anything. It's kind of just it's like a child dropped a bunch of houses onto a chessboard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then he'll just kind of like do his best to spot the lesserly shady, less willing to tell him to fuck off people and ask for directions.
Yeah, and easily enough to do. And it takes a few people before one of them knows where it is. But they direct you, and it's on the kind of the very edge of the town on the eastern side. And you go there. It's not a particularly far walk, especially if you get Lucy to help you. Yeah, you get there. You can see it's a pretty small inn. It's one of the bigger structures in the area, but still small compared to the inns you guys are used to. Maybe 2 stories tall, angled roof. Looks like it has maybe 12 rooms to it max, and a stable out to the side. The lands here are a little bit marshy, but not too bad, so seems pretty fine to have Lucy out and about. Yeah, as you approach it, seems quiet. The doors to the stables are closed right now, as is the front door.
Does it seem locked or anything, or just like not
No,
open?
there's people in there. It's just not currently open, so you can't see anyone inside.
Okay. Yeah, then Ash will just request a thorn on the shoulder.
Yep, he's got it.
And Thorn can't do invisibility, can he?
No.
No, that's only imps and that.
Thorn can try to hide under your cloak. He's got a +4 on stealth, but he never seems to roll well, so...
He'll try to keep him like subtle, but he's not like doing his best to make sure he's not seen at all. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah, he
maybe
could-
just put it under the cloak.
Yeah, he could curl up mostly inside the armor if you wanted.
Sure thing.
Kind of just poking his head out around your back and like through your hair.
Yep, that'll work.
Yeah, so just out of curiosity, Roslyn, go ahead and roll a stealth check, but it's not too important.
Meh. Sure. That's a 10.
Yeah,
Get a advantage because Dash is kind of helping him with that.
no, the bonus is you are his cover.
Okay.
Yeah, so you are equipped with a dragon. He may do as you wish.
He'll make his way inside.
Do the barn? Or the
He'll
stable, sorry?
he'll do the bar first.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of open up the doors and you can smell horse. Kind of not super well lit in here, but you do see the like quiet sound of someone whispering in the corner and a rather large implement, which you vaguely recognize as a massive brush on a stick. Running over the back of the horse is seemingly brushes the hair, gets the dust off of it. It's reasonable to assume there's someone at the other end of the handle, but they're behind the horse.
Dash will just like maybe like knock on a doorway. Just hello.
Yep, and you see the brush kind of freeze, and a familiar voice goes, is that you?
Yep.
Okay, just approach slow. I just in case I flip out or something.
Sure thing.
You see him set down the brush, and as you slowly round the corner, he looks at you very cautiously. You can see him.
Ash has like hands out to the sides, like not like out or up or anything, but just like palms forward on the side of
Yeah.
his body.
You can very clearly see he's like controlling his breathing as you approach, and just,
Hey,
well, I'm not currently flying into a murderous rampage, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
this is the first time we've properly met. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd introduce myself, but I feel like you know who I am already.
Though I don't really have a name for you. I don't like the one we've been throwing around.
I mean, if you have a better option, I'll use it. As for introduction, so he kind of gestures towards the horse next to him and says, this is, Faros. She's a sweetheart. One of the merchants inside owns her.
He's sitting. Asher kind of like says hi to the horse with the his primeval awareness.
You're doing it. It seems to be a very happy horse right now. It's affectionate towards, Oniashta.
All right. So I can help with the confliction going on in your head right now.
How so? You mentioned removing the eggs, right?
Yes. Not, but he kind of like nods for a second, then remove. It's possible
Sorry, cutting out a bit there.
or to align them with the thing,
I mean,
make them play nice.
that sounds pretty ideal, personally. Less arguments is an attractive option.
Okay.
What do you?
Gonna need you to be willing for this.
I'm willing. At least currently, I don't know how the side of me that I don't quite agree with will treat that, but I'm willing.
Ashta puts his hand out.
He kind of crosses the stall door and goes to take your hand and says, if this doesn't work, is there a chance it'll rebound and the X will take over instead?
Does Ashton do that?
You have no idea. You've done this once before. That was with the assistance of the Firebird.
I mean, thanks for a second. I don't have the most experience with it, but
It's not a bad thing. I just, as much as I'd rather the Fane be in control, as long as it's not both of them, I'm happy.
I prefer the other as well, but I won't blame you too much for it.
Well, if I try to kill you, I apologize in advance.
I'm sorry. And he's going to cleanse X.
Alright. Now I'm gonna actually wait for that to show up on my end so I can make sure.
Once per level, you make contested mental ability check versus a creature with X, scattering their X, enabling you to enforce your will upon the X.
Alright. Give me a moment to pull up Oniashta's sheet. A moment to remember where I put the sheet.
Be real nice to have Xenia in there with you.
Potentially, yeah.
Mm.
Which one was it again? Was it the one in quotes or the one with the slash?
What do you mean?
Of the two sheets that I gave you.
Oh, that would be. I think it's the. Let me check.
Yeah, you should only have access to one right now. I'm just gonna open the other one for now.
I think it's the one with the slash. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one with the quotes was just for the name.
Okay. Now I wait for my roll 20 to load. Regardless, go ahead and make your ability check.
All right. Now, can he use Feign to do this? Like, give advantage?
No, this is something that you are doing.
Okay.
You're fan to make it possible. They cannot do both at the same time.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just double checking. Oh, he'll do a quick self-detection from good and evil.
Sure.
Because I don't quite remember if that was a thing before, but worth
You
a
did
shot.
cast it. Yeah.
Okay. So wisdom check.
Yeah, of your mental ability choice, check of your choice.
Okay. 19.
Alright. Alright, I will manual roll this because I can't seem to open the sheet. I think I remember the stats, though.
Oh, 19!
Is
Oh.
Okay.
there any bonuses because he's willing?
It's possible to make the roll because he's willing. Alright.
I thought
Oh.
it was possible to do it if they weren't before.
Let
It is contested.
me read my thing again then.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything but willing. It's just contested. I remember talk of stuff like that, of like removing it from things that are kind of more evil.
The issue is that his will isn't really important because it's the Ix's strength is the ability check. They're kind of hijacking his mental abilities to use it as their check. If there's something you would like to attempt to try to make this easier for you, speak now.
Christ. I don't know. Real quick, can Thorn touch spell anything right now?
Rosalind does not have any touch spells that will help with this. Now, if it was Xenia,
Yeah.
I will say this isn't an instantaneous process. It
I know.
is a mental contest. It takes a bit of time. It is technically feasible to call someone in to help you.
All right then. I guess for one, he'll just, if he can, Radiant Soul up as well, just for the hell of it.
You see the
Um,
wings go out, and there's a bit of a, like... You see him kind of, like, startle for a second, as he was not expecting it.
And he'll just make a quick thing over to Thorns, like, maybe some guidance would help.
Xenia, he needs you in there.
Got it. And you'll make their way in, just slowly, trying to be a bit gentler with it, just to, yeah.
You see him notice you. And Ashton, immediately you see, like, just fear enter.
It's
Yeah, the only-
alright.
We're helping out here. Trust
Not-
me.
I'm not...
It's okay. Then
Not-
you'll just slow.
Just hold on. Just don't come closer yet. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Just... Sorry, a lot of mental gymnastics going on right now. I'm
okay.
concerned that I'm gonna flip out.
Can Ashton come closer to me?
As
That'd be
long as he
okay?
doesn't have to take me. As long as he doesn't take me with him, yeah. Just... I'm gonna stay over here where I can't reach you.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Then you'll just sort of like bag an Ashton over, just reaching their hand out.
Ash will like take a few steps back and kind of like reach the wings out towards Xenia.
So then you'll just tap it. You got this. I'm gonna stay right at the door. Don't. It's gonna be okay.
Zine, are you just helping with guidance? Or are you gonna be trying something else?
I don't know if I can channel the power from my ring of protection into Ashta, because that's an item.
Make a wisdom check.
Ooh, I get to do fun stuff. Let's use a feign point. 12.
You try to basically push the magic into him. It doesn't seem to take.
Okay. Does it waste the use for the day?
It would, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
And on top of that, just guidance.
I'm checking if there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's the only. Could my feign help? Like if they commingle with Ashta's, and that way of giving him a bit of more of a boost?
Theoretically, they could try. So, effectively, what you'd be doing with the guidance
Mhm.
is, again, this is a contest not entirely through Ashta. This is a guidance through Ashta's Feign, and the Ix's Feign. The Ix is Ix, basically. So, you'd basically trying to guidance the Feign in Ashta.
Okay.
So, if you want to use your Feign instead to try to basically give him extra strength,
Yeah.
that's possible. It's up to you how you want to go about that.
I think I want to use guidance because it's more surefire.
Okay, so go ahead and make a spellcasting check with your proficiency. If it's above a 20, you're able to use guidance on the Feign.
Once again, I'm using the feign points, baby. 22.
Alright. Ashta, you have guidance. It was a tie, so we can assume that it passes in that case.
1d4 for fun. 1.
Hey, it's what you needed.
It's what you needed.
It's slow going. It probably takes a solid 10 minutes. But as your Feign... Initially, you were going about a kind of battering and scattering method, where you'd weaken the Ix, split them up as much as you can, eliminate a cluster of them, and then in that new weakened cluster, repeat and repeat. It wasn't working. They were grouping too well. There was too much to handle at once. With the guidance, though, you get this almost serenity. And instead of immediately jumping in, trying to scatter the Feign, you feel your Fane basically try to converse with them, almost distract them and placate them. And then just one big rush of energy, and you feel your wings shatter as it completes. And you basically see the Oni drop to the ground unconscious.
Ooh, okay. Nash just like breathes out some like ethereal frost.
You do, and it comes out as like these ghostly snowflakes that are always shifting form.
So can Asha now choose to convert them to Fane?
You can.
He will do so.
Alright, and are you converting them inside of the Oni or inside of you? Basically, who is getting the Fane points?
Could Asha take them?
Theoretically.
Hmm. Would he know if him having more would cause any issues there? Or
From
would
your
it potentially
experience,
be more helpful?
from your experience from when you had the X, it's not additive, where you had all of your Fane points and then some X points. You know that this Oni has basically half and half. Combined, they make the full capability of what you had, but separate, they are much weaker.
Okay. Yep, then he'll give him back the full.
Okay. And you do, and a moment passes, and you see the Oni start to like slowly shift on the ground, like trying to gain his bearings. Eventually, he sits up and looks at you and just. That was a lot.
How you feeling?
Not immediately better like I was hoping, but more calm.
Yes, maybe this will help then. And he goes into the back and pulls out a birthday cupcake.
Kind of looks at it like, okay, you didn't like fuck me up. Did you actually just pull out a pastry?
He points to the Xenia in the doorway.
Xenia gives a little wave.
Should I be careful eating this then?
No, it's made out of
You're okay.
cocoa powder, butter, cherries.
Choice.
I meant more so like your ability to cook.
Oh,
he remembers the lettuce.
it was cabbage.
It was
Okay, fair.
That was an isolated
I've
incident.
progressed.
It was not an isolated incident.
He remembers
I've
the
Been
brassica.
better.
Here's the thing, I'm hungry enough, I'll take the risk and takes it and just bites into it and like, oh shit, you have progressed.
Hmm.
Sorry, Xenia. I still don't think it's safe for you to be around me right now.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
okay.
Do you mind if I just... Yeah, I'll... When I'm a bit more calm, I'll try again if you're okay with that.
That's okay. You do what you need to do.
Thank you for the cupcake.
You're welcome. So, I'll step out. The rest of the party give a thumbs up.
And back.
Quick nudge mentally from Rosalind to Ashta. You have the clothes for him, don't you?
It's just about to get to it. I guess on that point too, like what's he wearing right now?
Rags.
Okay.
It's pretty much what you'd expect from someone who works in a stable.
Okay.
Dirty clothes, they're vaguely in the... It's like a plain white... Well, it was white at one point, probably closer to gray shirt. Probably made of cotton. It's pretty thick, it actually looks like, so it's not terrible. Looks like it's warm, at least. The pants are dirt thin, though.
And he'll reach into his bag and pull out some clothes.
He kind of looks at it while he kind of slowly eats the muffin. He almost looks a little bit nauseous, but enjoys the taste, it seems like.
Ash will also just give him some water from a water skin. Cause,
He takes it and then immediately just, like, drains it. Goes, thank you.
you should
for me.
Yep, and they're you remember that store from I can't player can't remember. Is it Lindale?
Anther.
Anther. Do you
Yeah.
remember that shop from Anther? It should help with changing forms.
Oh, that's very thoughtful, actually.
Thank the others. They thought of it.
You seem kind of like his knuckles kind of tighten around nothing on the ground, and just. I'll let you give them my thanks for now. I think I need to process.
Yeah.
If that's all right.
I'll be sure to let him know. Nasha kind of like helps him up.
Yeah, he kind of stands up. He's a little bit unsteady on his feet. He goes, "It's okay. This is odd. It's better. It's not. I don't think it's like how most people think. Still very
Because
confused about things. Still very depersonalized.
you know, it's best thing I can suggest is do your best to be you, not me and not the other guy.
I think that'll be easier now. I only have 4 voices inside my head instead of 5 now.
Take from my experience and hell, even if his, if it's helpful, but they're gifts and help and lessons, but they're by no means all that you are.
Direction, not guidance.
Mhm.
Not building a path, just pointing me down the right way.
Think of it as you were born yesterday, but you were born my age, and they're the training wheels to help you work.
Yeah, I'm just adjusting.
Yep.
I like the animals, though.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I feel like I understand them very well.
Kind of pats the horse beside, and it's like, yeah.
I'm gonna try to set something up for myself here as much as I can. At least save up some money.
Maybe look other places too. I know travel isn't the easiest thing, but
Well, I at least start here so I can buy the rations to. Well, I could probably scavenge, but I want something concrete here first. So that way, if I need to come back, at least there's something to come back to.
look, I don't mean this in a. You got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways, and well, quite frankly, you're kind of tossed out without much stuff to start you on. This isn't a handout, and he kind of like goes into his coin pouch and counts out 2 platinum and 10 gold.
He kind of looks at it and goes, I don't want it. I can survive off of no money. I can hunt. I can fend for myself.
I know, but
But
you got thrown into this world without any start. You had whatever you had when you left the place, and anyone has a bit of gold from parents or anything like that.
no, and I get that. But again, I want to build something. The money is only to let me travel. I'm not looking to travel yet. For now, I just want to build something here. Small as it might be. I don't need
Just take-
money for that. I just need something I can recognize, something I can situate myself to.
Fine. Then just take the 1 platinum. Keep it in the back of your belt or something. Emergencies, anything like that. It's a fall.
Fine, but
Other options.
if I do travel out of here, I'm giving it back to you.
Fine by me.
Alright. The party outside, you guys see a relatively well off, kind of rotund half-orc come out of the inn and start walking towards the stables. Kind of nods to you guys as he passes by, gives an odd look to Lucy.
We give a quick feign to
Hi there.
Ash to heads up somebody's coming in.
Do they give a description?
Half
Visual.
orc, rotund.
Ash looks over. Half orc's coming. Here, boss.
It's the one who owns the horse.
Alright, should I head out?
It's up to you. I'm just gonna guide the horse out to him.
Alright, yeah, then I should get going. And he'll send a feign back to them, like, yeah, you get moving, just maybe around a corner or something.
Yep. They'll move. Or Rosalind will.
And you can easily enough Ash to step out and step around the corner. No issue. He doesn't stop you or anything. You guys watch him around the corner as Leone leads the horse out. He speaks briefly with the merchant. You see the merchant pass him a couple coins. Nothing huge. But he smiles at him and has a brief conversation. Seems oddly normal, honestly. And Ashley kind of looks at you once the merchant goes to mosey on off. He just mouths the word commingle.
Yeah. Sure. Ash is fully aware that there's no Ix going on there, right?
Yep, the eggs are cleansed.
Alright, yep. He'll let it go.
And you do, and as always, there's the brief swap of vision and then returns.
Only it's slightly less weird. We're just wearing the clothes now.
Yeah, just a bit. And it swaps back, and he just kind of messages to you like, "Thank you. I'll be in contact. But thank you.
Oh, it's easier than the dream spell.
Yeah, got that right. Go go on about what you need to do. I'm alright.
He thinks for a sec. How I think I have a way to differentiate us a bit more.
I mean, I can turn into a giant if you'd like.
Not that. How committed are you with the stubble?
I mean, he kind of like gives you an image of his own face, and then if you're still within sight of him, you see him just metamorphosize a little bit. The stubble's just gone.
Yes. Alright, you don't even have to shave, fine.
I have pretty good control over how much of you and how much of the other one I control. The other one's clean shaven, so.
Okay then. Well, yeah, anything you can let me know. Yeah. Actually, here, and he goes in his bag once more and just a small bit of paper, some ink, and black ink and a quill. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're still a fan, but
It's worth a shot.
maybe maybe draw the animals. I was never good on that kind of stuff, so.
Might as well. And you kind of like leave it on a windowsill, and he takes me to the side. Good luck.
You too. If and when you get better, we can talk about that dog.
I think better is a bit of a relative term.
I'll give you some time.
It's appreciated. And he goes back to care for the horses.
And Ashta finds the group and just, okay,
Okay.
it's done, it's finished, it's done.
All right. Good.
Nothing bad happened. I didn't get thrown through a stable wall.
We
That's
noticed.
good.
It's
Yeah.
a plus.
So, is there anything else to be done here?
I mean, Carson's got his stuff, but
Yeah.
I'll also let him know to steer clear of this area. In fact, and he'll just ping a Fane over.
And you can tell he's kind of mid-conversation, as he's kind of distracted and talking.
Then he'll just ping to his Fane and be like, voicemail.
Well, that's always what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys have a couple free hours if you want to do anything.
Rosalind would like to head back up to the castle unless everybody wants to stay down here.
Anything we want to pick
Around.
up here?
Kai's gonna.
Let's head back then.
Yeah, we
Oh.
have to go back to Lentia.
Yeah.
Doesn't Carson have some people like
Yeah,
in between
yeah.
Lentia and Conant?
Aquini.
Yeah. Sure. That.
He's good with us going just to
Coquina
Lentiel, I
Club.
think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kai's is good with that as well. Yeah.
But we've got a couple of hours to kill. Basically, Rosalind would like to do some enchanting.
Yeah. Caius.
Sorry,
wouldn't
John,
mind-
what's your question?
Caius wouldn't mind like looking for us a little more. He has toured there a little bit, so
Yeah.
Seeing if there's maybe the promotion town, or somebody knows
Yeah, anyone else?
might be at the
Gonna,
local tavern.
anyone else gonna join him?
No, I'm really close to finishing one of my trainings.
You go do that. Yeah.
It's similar to
Caius
that.
Caius can handle this himself.
Okay. Don't
Yeah,
freaking
so-
die.
As they're about to go off, Asher puts the heavy hand on Gaius' shoulder and is like, same rules apply as before.
I know.
Fuck it up.
I know.
Remember, a couple of hours, and then you need to go find Rosé and the lift.
Of course.
I'll send Thorn to let her know that she needs to look out for you as well as the rest of them.
And you guys would know where Carson plans to get picked up, so.
It'll be told.
I always liked Fluss when I was touring, so it's nice to pay.
Very well. Let us know if you need anything.
No problem.
Here we'll have on Lucy and head back.
Alright, I'll let you guys who are doing your hours handle your hours. Caius,
Yeah.
is there anywhere particularly you want to go, or do you want to roll a D100?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's roll a D100.
Fantastic.
Yeah, roll D100 and crime center.
Commit a felony. Why not?
Guys is going, I want to wander around Riften and see what I find.
Yeah, basically. Like, this is one of the seedier towns he's been to. What do you?
Oh, interesting.
Oh no.
I have to go through my notes for this one. Hold on.
Oh crap.
Oh.
Interesting.
No, you'll enjoy this. Don't worry, John.
Okay. I come across another weird Caius fan club. It's like, oh god damn it.
How
Going to have to
terrible-
adopt.
How terrible would it have been if you'd run across the fortune teller again?
God.
Because at this point, I assume that she's a possibility on any D100 chart we roll.
She absolutely is.
Ah, good.
Rolling fortune teller. Fab.
Sorry, I have to scroll really far here. Just give me a second.
Fair enough.
So what are Ashton and Xenia training in, or is that a secret?
Asher might. He's concerned. Nah, I can.
This is player
He's at-
curiosity,
he's at-
it's okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking now because he's at like what is it like 96 chess training?
Oh,
Fuck.
did that earlier chess time during the medical exam count as an hour or two?
Yeah, I'll say you can take an hour for that.
You can find out when Xenia screams.
Is
"Fuck
it doubled
you,"
because he was with Rosalind then?
No, it was an hour because it was doubled.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm basically just waiting for him to get a sleep training, but I haven't gotten any.
Oh.
You know, If
Yeah.
you want,
Caius already got his strong style training.
if you
so
want to
he's good.
finish that, I'm willing to just do that instead of enchanting.
Nah, do your enchanting. 'Cause I can do other stuff. I can't do it during sleep.
Okay.
So, Kais,
Yeah.
I can't find the name,
Okay.
but if you do recall, a very prominent turning point in Kais' career,
Oh.
there's a very specific gentleman who was important to that. Do you recall his name?
Vesper Black?
Thank you. He is currently in town and performing.
Valorbound Wrestling's in town?
It is.
Oh my god.
Like I said, waiting for you guys to go to Floss for a while, and that was on the D100.
Yes. Awesome. I'm tempted to feign over and say, hey, my old promotion's in town.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll feign over. It's like, if you guys are interested, my old promotion's in town.
Oh god.
They're just wrapping up a performance now. Seems like Vesper has won the day.
I'm in the middle.
And,
I'm in the
Vesper
middle of
was the
something,
head booker, not one of the boys.
Oh shit, sorry. Okay, continue. Sorry, go ahead. Rosalind, go ahead.
She was just gonna say, I just got into the middle of this and I don't want to leave it, but show me everything. Just invitation for Caius to share as he likes.
Yeah,
There's a response from Ashton's like, I'm still projecting right now.
I know.
Don't fuck it up.
I won't. I'll promotion down. It's fine.
How many hours do we get again? Sorry.
2.
2. Right.
Yeah.
16. Have him roll a quick wisdom check to see if he gets off the horse teleport again.
Yeah, go for it. And sorry, Kais, the name I was looking for, although Vesper let me find the thing. Good check, but not quite.
Nah.
You
Has to
get,
be
like-
20, got it.
It does.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for reminding me of Vesper, because that gives me the name I was looking for. You do see Van Dam Ellis.
Damn Ellis, the screwed out of.
Yep.
Huh.
He has just won the match, and he is celebrating. He's not seen you yet, as your hair is still currently black, I believe, right?
Huh.
Ah.
Yeah. He might still hate.
You don't have to do anything, but you do see them in town, and they are finishing up a performance. It seems a little bit not their best, but pretty good.
I'll walk in.
Sure. Yeah, it's just like an open air pavilion, basically. They're talking to a couple people after mass. He's just kind of got the end of his performance. He's still kind of in character, but you can see he's a little more towards the fans than he would normally be.
Nice finish.
He kind of nods towards you and roll an insight check.
Okay.
I
24.
want the guy to do like a triple take.
You see a flash of recognition and like a slight crack in the face that he was not expecting to see you, but he recognizes you. But he remains in character and kind of goes, "Thank you, new fan," and he turns to someone else.
I just wanna keep going with the with the insider lingo, like still going with the Daredevil gimmick, eh?
And the guy's like, "I mean, Daredevil is what I do. I don't see too much reason to criticize that, eh? After
Yeah.
all, you gotta do what you gotta do in a match, right?"
Yeah. You're using a lot more color than I'm familiar with. Going a little more into hardcore wrestling, Van Dam.
Oh, you guys haven't watched for a while, have you? And
I would
people are
say-
starting to notice this odd interaction going on.
And I just sort of walk up to him.
He stands there waiting for you to speak.
How you been?
Since when?
I'd have to pull up my notes now.
It's been a couple years. He's basically acting like he does not
towards-
recognize you. Solano? Oh,
Yeah.
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 No.
okay, good. Sorry.
We're just waiting for John.
Yeah.
He's John. He's basically acting like he does not recognize you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Since when? Sounds like you're a fan from a while ago. Just catching up.
I'll meet you and I tap him on I pat him on the shoulder, say, I'll meet you in gorilla position, and I walk past him.
There's like a murmuring. Go ahead and roll a charisma check of your choice.
Charisma check of my choice.
Yeah, which one, whatever you want to try to use here.
Okay. 23.
All right. Shit.
These rolls.
Yeah, gorilla position is the area just before the curtain when you come out
Yep.
to the ring.
And he kind of like looks at you and he goes, "Well, I guess I have a challenger here." He turns to face you and he sees the open arm, and you can tell he's still a bit winded from the fight he just did. And he kind of like opens his arm and says, "And who are you to challenge me, oh tall one? Just a encouraged fan?"
An old guns, if you will.
All right, gunslinger. You still around tomorrow? I just finished a match, and I don't think I want to give you that much of an advantage.
Sure. I'll meet. Give me a day. And I'll go over and I'll walk away from the building, and I will go to the nearest hair dye shop.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. Damn. 14.
You find a salon.
Hi.
There's a you walk in. It's a seedy place. Everyone in there is either a half orc, an orc, or a Goliath.
That probably a front kind of feeling.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have purple hair dye, would you?
It kind of looks to purple,
Purple.
like magenta, maroon, or purple.
He points to his gear.
Give me a second. He walks back out. He walks next to his back, and he comes back out holding a bottle of, like a green bottle, very dirty. Shakes it and says, "Pretty close."
Fuck it, it'll work.
All right. He basically walks up to you. It's almost like an oil that he puts in on his hands and just runs through your hair until it dyes it enough. He gives you the rest of the. Puts the bottle in front of you and says, "Reapply as needed. 4 gold." Assuming you pass him the 4 gold.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Into the bottle and says, "Fun." He goes back
Thanks.
to what he was doing before.
As he returns to another guy he's cutting the hair of and hands him a bag of cocaine.
Yeah.
His passive isn't that high. Shut up.
His passives are that high.
Well, yeah, your hair is not well dyed, but it's dyed pretty close.
Purple.
It's purple.
Ish.
Yeah, no, it's purple. It's not quite the as deep or as rich or nearly as blue as you're used to. It'll work though.
lower saturation.
Wonky, but it'll work.
But
Looking.
it's not high quality hair dye. I'm just gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's plus. What do you expect?
Full Gold was probably a ripoff.
It was definitely a ripoff. That's not important right now. Yeah, so you are re-dyed. Free to do as you wish.
I'm gonna say it's like, hey, I'm gonna stop back plus tomorrow. If that's all right. I'll feign over
Who's-
to everyone.
Who are you saying this to?
Huh?
Who are you saying this to?
Rosalind.
Okay. Yeah, you get a fan message from Caius Rosalind.
What
I'm gonna
is his
stop back
message?
plus tomorrow.
We aren't stop. We. Why?
Personal business.
Caius, we're going to Lentiel all day tomorrow.
I know.
And then to the deserts.
I understand.
Oh dear.
Just 1 hour. That's all I need.
It takes an hour to get to Fluss and then back again.
Understand. Personal.
I'll try to figure this out.
All right.
I'm gonna look for the or the high value belt that you said looked like a wrestling belt, looked like a wrestling title.
Sorry, the high value belt.
The high value like gold belt.
Oh yes, the one that you got from the Horde. Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna grab that.
Okay, so I assume you go back up to the castle inn first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you head back up with the assistance of
Is that-
Rose at the end of the time.
Might walk past Astra blinking in and out of reality.
A little bit, yeah.
Ashta.
Hey.
You would also know that Ashta is the one who has the bag with the belt.
Yeah. I try to get that from.
How do you do it? So you like reach into the bag?
Just ask.
I want to
Yeah,
roll one more
while
wisdom.
you're busy
Nope.
blinking in and out of existence.
You can wait till he's in existence.
Yeah, I'll wait until he's existent.
He like opens his eyes like, oh fuck, oh that hurts the head. Oh, oh,
That's kinda
Caius,
like that
what's up?
I need the belt that's in the bag there.
Might I ask why? As he goes in to get it,
Personal business.
he stops and he looks at him and he goes, "Might I ask why?"
Several years ago, I nearly ruined a man's. I'm looking to give the win back. Pay it forward. Wash my.
Also, as a known Ashta, Caius currently has terribly dyed purple hair.
Yeah,
He slowly nods and he goes, "What's with the purple tips? You did like the whole thing."
I do. It's just this Fluss. It was this place to buy hair, but it works in a
Don't
pinch.
you have your own stash?
I need it for. I need to dye the roots first before I use those for what I have.
He shrugs and hands him the thing, and they're like, "Just
Yeah, and I'll go to my personal stash and properly dye.
Yeah, it takes probably the rest of the spare time. But
Once everybody's on board, the castle is moving towards Lentiel, but not all the way. Rosalind is going to stop it where Xenia asked.
sure thing. As Carson comes back up, he just mentioned to you guys that basically he has made a connection. It is not. It's still tentative, but he knows basically someone who can give not mercenaries, but pretty close to mercenaries for general purpose laborers. That's what I'm looking for. To do any of the farming, any of the fixing of houses, or anything like that you guys might need in the short term. If you want, As well, they're willing to supply a lot of crop and seed in Floss.
And who exactly dealing with this?
Just a guild of merchants, really. They come from the Green Sea, bringing a lot of the fertile stuff. It's the only stuff that can grow around here.
Would you mind if I talk to them the next time you do?
Sure, there's a bunch of them, but sure. Mostly boring old folks.
Thanks for a second. And just fades over to Ross. And like, do you think you could help cut us a deal too?
When do we need to have this conversation?
I'm not sure, Carson.
We always need seed. Whenever you guys want to start planting.
Promised. We need to get to Lentiel tonight. We were going to spend tomorrow in Lentiel, but now Caius needs to be back here tomorrow as well.
I will say that stuff we can worry about after session.
Now Rosalind's worrying about it now.
Yeah, well, it's like the next thing we're doing.
There is no convenience to any of this.
Yeah.
I promise you it will not be tomorrow until next session.
Okay, but even then.
Even then, how are we doing the back and forth?
It can be overnight if you need to, but again, basically we can do the Lentiel bit right now for the initial bit, where everyone travels the next day and figuring that out. We can worry about next session.
So we're traveling to Lentiel now.
Yes.
I was assuming so, unless you guys want to stay in Floss. Caius isn't here till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Promised to Xenia that we would get to Lentiel tonight, and I assume that some kind of word was, I don't know, made.
Yeah, then we can head to Lentiel now then.
From a
Yep.
Thai perspective, it's okay if you don't.
From a Rosalind perspective, a promise was made. So, yep,
Right.
we're going to Lentiel.
You guys go to Lentiel. I said east, right?
I think she said she was east from TL.
I'm gonna put that there then. Alright, so it would take roughly 2 hours that you guys can do with as you wish. Hour and a half. Yeah, it's 2 hours. So put that into training as you desire. And you guys arrive approaching sunset, but not quite. Maybe an hour out.
Does Rosalind need any combat training, or should she keep going with the enchanting?
She's enchanting right now.
Alright. Well, yes, boss.
Seems like getting themselves already in like the last little bit.
Any specific preparations you want to mention?
Wearing like the one like sheerish shirt that shows the tattoos and then running up to Rosalind at this point, you're like, do I look good? Do I need makeup?
Well, makeup never hurts, but hold on here. I'll come and help you, and Rosalind's gonna go help Xenia, like, I don't know, accessorize. This is a
Fancy
Rosalind
up.
thing. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
You can always call on Issa to help if you want.
Yeah,
I think-
it's like, Issa, any help?
Yes. What's going on?
I'm meeting the woman who I haven't seen for 33 years, but I've technically been engaged to for 33 years, and she was married in between that.
Oh, you definitely need my help. Alright. Nothing else need be said. It's Issa.
Also, Issa, she may come up here and live here with
Yeah,
their
but-
kid.
She like grabs you by the face. Whatever you need to do.
Oh, you're
I support you.
you're into this, okay.
For half a second,
haven't
Ash
seen her in
phases into the room and phases out.
You haven't seen her in 33 years.
Yeah.
You were engaged.
Yeah, here's the ring.
I will do anything you need me to do to help.
I
And Issa and Rosalind go to work.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
Unfortunately,
that
she's not very
Rosalind-
dexterous.
Rosalind only did,
Oh,
like, 1
Does
hour.
charisma or Dexter?
Oh shit, she saw me
She's
when
not
I was a
really
girl.
charisma. Dexterity?
Yeah, call it a sleight of hand check, and Issa's going to assist with basically a taste check.
See, he's giving
So
people
take
guidance.
advantage.
16.
Take advantage with guidance.
Oh, okay. 16 plus guidance. Hold on. Get a D4 in there. 19.
It's pretty solid. It's not an obscenely heavy makeup look.
Oh, there wasn't
Enough
going to be heavy makeup at all.
Yeah, just enough to smooth out the skin.
Suggestion of an extra bonus. What is Rayla doing right now?
Hold on. What was the question?
Potential extra bonus to that. What is Rayla doing right now?
Let's roll a d20.
Rayla doesn't know.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Oh!
Oh god!
Oh no! Were you waiting for this?
It's he's been waiting like 3 months for this, or he just realized he can now do anything and will prepare it in between sessions.
Oh no.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
Exactly.
Rayla is not currently with you after you do a couple phases out of existence.
She's making another army of mice. I swear to fucking God.
It's gonna be really big mice this time, fair warning. No.
Yeah.
Quite large.
So,
She comes home with capybaras.
oh boy. Roll initiative. No, kidding. So,
Thing is like looking out to Rose and like, hey, if you can see like a tiny house for like some people there. Like I'm looking for some people like camping out. I don't know.
Rose basically informs you that she has Firebird sweeping the area for what you guys were looking for, and they found a small settlement with a fire and constantly pointing up and looking at that thing in the sky.
Ooh.
Okay.
And so is that where you want me to take you down? Am I bringing Lady Browsland or anyone?
No,
I
I think that Xenia has this covered. Don't you?
Just me and Thorn.
Alright. And you guys briefly notice as Ashta's armor suddenly appears and not Ashta and then
Oh dear.
Huh.
Hi Asha.
he's
Or
not there.
not?
Hi
I don't
Asha's
think-
armor.
That's just the armor.
The armor waves.
The gauntlet just waves and makes a little clinking noise.
No, wait, is that Ashta invisible?
It's
or-
gone.
Oh, there.
Well then.
I think I see it like by the doors.
Residuals have been happening all day, don't worry about it.
I would imagine he just like appears upside down and like lands on his neck and he's just like, oh, hey guys.
Worst thing.
Okay. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Issa.
Issa grabs your hand like, if you need me to come down there and kick someone's ass, just tell me.
No, she's capable of kicking my ass.
Are we kicking asses? I can.
No, we're not kicking asses, but she's capable of kicking my ass.
No. I mean, if you need me to beat up whoever she's with right now,
No,
will
he's
do
dead.
it.
Something beat you to it a month ago.
if you need someone
Oh.
to fake cry with you,
I noted.
good luck. She pats you on the hand.
No one's seen Rayla recently.
Not that I know of.
But then she is very good at going unseen. Is your neck all right?
Yes, good.
Sure.
He just like gets up and just.
And Rose kind of walks over and like shoves you over, checks your neck. Yeah, you're fine. Smacks you in the back of the head. Let's go. Xenia, let's go. Time to,
Yep,
do you want me to drop you off when you're close, or?
yeah, you can drop me off. It's okay.
Well, I just mean, do you not want me around?
Oh, you can be close. It's okay, but just it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
What is happening?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
No, but why are we where we are right now?
Well, you teleported here.
He just blinks. Why is the castle where it is right now?
I'm meeting someone.
She hops on the thing. Xenia, let's go. Someone else can explain it to Ashta.
Yep.
Bye! As they float off.
Bye, Xenia. Have fun.
Ah!
Asta looks over and it's like, should you send Thorn or something?
Oh, Thorn's going with them. Don't worry.
Is this person someone I should worry about?
I don't believe so.
I
Remember the rule about plus ones?
Issa marches up to you, Ashta, and like basically picks you up by the front of your armor.
Oh no!
Oh, no, Issa, what?
Hold
are
on.
you-
Ashta, if you ruin this for Xenia, I will kill you.
Please don't.
Issa!
You're not there, Xenia. You can't see this.
You know,
No!
He
This
said,
is die!
please, put him
you
down.
know what? So just severely improve my odds of not ruining it. Context.
Oh, for
Xenia's
heaven's
going to be
sake.
Xenia's going to meet someone they care very deeply about. They're going to see if they still trust them, see if they want to be around, or if they're comfortable with it. It's a lot of emotions. Let them handle it. Xenia will tell you what they need.
I'm pretty sure I just did something like this a few days ago without the potential romance. Don't worry. And he just kind of like cranes the hands off and like
It's
lands on his feet.
It's an iron grip. She doesn't let you go. She puts you down and goes, just remember what I said. She lets go. Now, I'm going to go care for a child who would like to join me.
Good.
Can I volunteer for Esther?
Sure. Alright.
Yeah, Rosalind's a little torn on that matter. She'd like to, but she is also looking at Astra going, I should maybe explain a little bit more.
Issa starts walking, so you're free to make a choice. In the
Yeah.
meantime.
Yeah.
Xenia.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the nerves.
Oh boy, the nerves.
Imagine the nerves.
Oh, I can feel them. I can feel them. Don't worry.
You start floating down with Rose, and you can see the small campfire, and you recognize some of the tents actually there. When you guys, whatever once in a while, go camping out just in the outskirts, it was the exact same tent. Once you're about 100 feet above the ground, Rose kind of looks at you and is like, good here, or do you want me to come down?
I'm good.
I'll just be floating nearby, doing some scouting. Just send one of the birds if you need me.
I can fly up if I'm done, and I can. Yeah.
Okay, just in case you need someone, pick someone else though.
Yeah. There's probably a short rest in between that so you can get both wild chips back, right?
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay.
She kind of like
Yes.
pats you on the shoulder, like, well, the elbow. Good luck.
Yep. Xenia's gonna turn into like an eagle and just swoop down.
And as soon as you morph into the eagle form, you can see almost perfectly. You see Remy standing there, arms crossed, looking up at the sky expectantly.
Xenia's gonna sigh like an eagle instead of fly like an eagle.
Boo.
Yeah, that's good,
Christ.
right? Yeah.
You need to use your inspirations more. Give them.
I already have it.
I know. Use them more often so I can give you more.
The more,
You
yes.
say you say that every session. Xenia's gonna
Use your
swoop down-
inspiration.
swoop down, sort of just as they just land, you sort of morph back on their feet.
Yep, and Remy just kind of stands there, arms crossed. And around, there's a number of people. You can see one older lady holding what looks like a very young child, swaddled up. A couple 7 to 10-year-olds in that range, and a few adults mucking about. Some signs that there are more people who run with these folk, but not currently there.
Anyone look related to her, like her brother or the parents?
A lot of them have very similar features. Most of them are Asmar.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Or is that
Remy.
different?
Remy is exactly as you expect them, just a bit older. A few more tattoos. Beefier arms.
Oof.
Sorry.
I can feel Xenia swooning from here.
Yep. She kind of looks at you and says, hey,
Hi. It's been a
been
bit.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a camp?
I do. You have a floating castle.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Would you like soup? We have soup.
Sure. Soup would be nice.
It's kind of nods and walks very stiffly over to like a stump in the ground and sits down, and
Can you just
the entire camp is silent. Sorry, say again.
Can you insight the behavior?
Go for it.
He's panicking. I'm using Feign.
Oh my
Try
god!
it.
30!
Goodness.
It's a 30.
30. Holy fuck.
Wow.
There are about 19 emotions going on. You can pick up about 5 of them.
Oh,
Most of them are anxiety related.
Ah,
I,
something you're familiar with.
I'm nervous too. Don't worry.
She kind of nods and says, I know. I can tell you still fidget the same.
God, yeah.
And, she hands you a bowl of soup. Doesn't have a spoon in it.
So he's gonna just sip it. Good soup. Really good soup.
She looks briefly like, okay, good, that was soup, not the dishwater.
Was it the dishwater?
No, it's soup, you're good. It's a butternut squash with nutmeg.
Butternut nutmeg squash.
It's really nice. God. Gods, yeah. That's really good.
Eventually, like, one of the younger kids, like maybe 6, 7 years old, kind of walks up to Remy and just grabs the leg and looks at you and goes, "Who is this?" Remy kind of turns to him and old friend. They're trustworthy. Don't worry. Here, can you go bring the little one? He nods and goes and runs off to the older lady, and she hands him the small child. And it's brought over to Remy, who then kind of shows them to you. This is my little one.
Oh. They're beautiful. See who they get it from.
She kind of looks at you like,
Sorry,
you're still a flirt.
it's a coping mechanism.
That's fine. It's adorable on you. I'm just.
Oh god.
Okay, this is awkward.
Yeah, it is.
She looks at everyone and goes, "Leave," and everyone just stands up, and they do.
Wow.
It's almost like they were waiting to be given permission.
As they all leave, seeing your shoulders just drop. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. They're protective. They know I'm still kind of out of it.
It's okay.
So, where the fuck have you been?
Well, ran away from home a little bit after you left.
Yeah, I know that part.
Like maybe like a month.
Yeah,
I worked in a library, I worked at a farm. I worked at another library and another library after that and then another farm. And I worked for the government again. And then I ended up being a guard. I met some people. And apparently we stuck like glue. Adhesive. And we've
Glue
done
guns.
some shit.
Such as.
Killed 2 dragons. Saved one of them from a tower, that's how we met. Killed a hag who was trying to turn into a lich. Killed a doppelganger. Trying to kill an Oni. And now we're trying to take down some of the people who were threatening the country.
You can almost hear her roll an insight check against you.
It is such a resume.
Someone just narrows their eyes, is like, "Are you making this shit up?" Oh my god, you're not.
We have like 9 dogs. We have
That is a good amount of dogs.
we have a
That's
lot of
the only
dwarves. We have like
that
40
she
dwarves.
Dwarves are also useful.
We have a golden dragon.
I can't speak to the use of those.
But I want to be honest with you.
I'd appreciate if you were.
I'd trade everything back to have spoken to you earlier.
You almost hear the sound of like glass shattering. Need to make a roll for that. There's a brief moment where you just see her face kind of like crumple at that.
What?
Then she,
No,
like,
did I say something
She
wrong?
regains her composure. Like, nope, sorry, just
Sorry, I know you and your. I know.
just. It's all right. It's all right. You never were the smooth criminal you like to think you are.
I don't think it.
I mean,
Thought I knew it for a bit, and then I just accepted it.
you know how to flirt. I'll give you that. But boy, your timing could use some work.
I know. I would trade all of it back just to
I just.
have it.
I know. Just. It's a lot to process.
Thing is gonna take off the engagement ring. Do you want this back?
No. Keep it on.
Okay.
As I'm sure you've noticed by now, it takes a lot more than whatever the hell you've been doing to get rid of me.
I've always, I always wanted to find you, and then I thought you hated me. Because I just left. Thought everyone hated me for a while. But then I came back to Lucerne, and everyone was really, really forgiving that I left for so long. So I thought the same.
I'll admit it was probably easier for them than it was for me.
Yeah, shorter lifespans, I still don't understand that sometimes.
I can tell.
Yeah. Do
I am
you-
glad to see you, though.
I'm glad to see you too.
I
And I
wish you had spoke to me earlier, but glad.
me too. Do you wanna
You see her eyes harden.
sort of
Spit it out, Buttercup.
live up there? Xenia points at the castle. You can bring the little one. There was someone else who has a little one. We're sort of
Yeah.
building up a bit of a settlement.
What service would I be providing up there?
You want to do some of the hunting once it gets a little better, because some of the stuff's a little dangerous, but I know you can handle, but maybe with a group.
I mean-
And you can do group hunting. There's a lot of farming we're working on up there. We're working to sort of...
Slow down, Xenia.
Yeah, too fast.
It's alright. It's me. I know things feel slower for you, but I can match your speed right now. Don't worry.
We're sort of making a separate society of sorts. And if you and the little one want to come up, that's okay.
It's not just me. I've got my whole family here, Xenia.
I know.
Are they welcome as well?
Xenia's gonna just be like, I hate it 1 second, just faint to Rosalind. But, Rosalind!
Well, we do have a small town if anybody is skilled in reconstruction, refitting. And
You guys know that the dwarves have been making preparations to do that. They're just waiting for your go-ahead.
oh, we were working on the castle first, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
prepared. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, we can start doing that. It might not be ready right away. Gives them some time to think about it as well. But I'm sure that with a few interviews by Issa, we can do a check of the group, and if anybody would like to come up, we can work something out.
Yeah, Xenia will relay it. Just like, yeah, we give it some time, but if there will be room for everyone to come up. We're a bit paranoid too, so.
Things are dangerous right now, and if you've done half the things you said you have, understand?
Yeah.
You said you need to do some hunting?
There's always room for more people, especially ones who help out. I almost got swallowed by a snake. Xenia looks at the watch they don't have last week.
A snake. How big was the snake?
It's big enough to swallow multiple Xenias.
You see a familiar light in her eye there. Are there more of them?
Yes, and I may or may not need some venom from them to make something interesting.
You can. There's conflict on her face for a second, and she just kind of. I mean, you know, I'm always a hunter for hire, large game. Could see what the area's like.
Yeah, but if we're spending the day in Lentiel tomorrow.
I could just meet the little one up there until I'm finished hunting.
I think I would suggest bringing more people, just because they're little bastards and they hunt in packs and groups.
Do you not have any hunters up there?
We do, so if they can come with you.
Yeah. No, I'll augment. I'll see what the area is like. I'll catch up with you.
Okay. And a lot of the dwarves have wives too, so if the little one needs some caring, what's the little one's name?
Fuck.
As it
I wrote it down. Hold on.
Ooh.
You really?
I wrote it down somewhere. Give me a second. My memory is so bad right now.
I really did
I
that.
love you, Conrad.
Forgot like 2 important.
I am nothing if not consistent.
Yeah, that's fair.
You really are.
Fair.
They've got to be recent notes.
No.
You write. No, you write a lot.
You do.
There we go. She kind of like looks at you like, okay. I didn't know the history associated with this name until after I named it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
No.
But they were a very happy child, and it was a suggestion that I named it Tasha.
Tasha?
Tasha. And then I found out they named a spell with a similar name, and apparently that's where all the association with happiness and joy comes from.
It's a good name.
Named your kid Joker.
Kind of.
Only the legal name is.
It's a very good name.
Making me laugh during this dramatic moment, you motherfucker.
But if you and the little one want to come up for a bit, that's okay.
I'm gonna hunt me a snake. I'm gonna bring back its venom. And in doing that, I'm gonna use that to release the frustration I have right now. Then we'll catch up.
That works. That works.
Do you wanna hold her?
Yeah. I would. I'd love to.
Andrew Tasha. Another Asimar. Very dark skin. With. It almost looks like their face is a mask of onyx and with gold inlay.
Tina's gonna look and just like, did she get it from your husband?
Mostly. He was Genasi.
Hmm.
And it seems a lot of the coloration took from it.
wish I could have met him.
I wish you could too, but it's done. It's done. I have this one to remember him by, so it's not all bad.
If you ever need to talk about it, you know I'm here.
Yeah, I know. It'd be nice to be away from family and talk to someone fresh, but
Oh, you're gonna meet a lot of very interesting people.
I suspect so if they were friends with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay right here. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna grab my supplies.
Take your time. It's alright.
She stands up and you see her hesitate for a second and cup your chin and kiss you on the forehead. Back.
Alright.
She walks off to one of the tents.
Mhm.
You see Tasha kind of move a little bit in your arms and look up to you. Big eyes. Bright golden.
How old is she?
Few months, maybe.
Oh, sweetheart.
The eyes are just... It's like if you took the lightest gold caramel and just 2 little drops.
Xenia's gonna give Tasha her pinky finger.
And she grabs it. Rather than squeeze it like you see most kids do, she kind of takes it and starts examining it, looking at it from every angle.
Just like your mother.
Eventually she kind of like starts gently tugging it towards her.
Yeah, Xenia will bring it closer.
Yep, and eventually when you press it against the forehead where she guides it towards, there's just like a soft glow. You feel some of the more minor bumps and scrapes you have just slowly start to close up.
Oh. BB.
Roll me a history check.
Woohoo. Histoire. 15.
You know enough from being adjacent to Ashta and your own research. This kid either has some of the strongest asthma or something is up with this kid.
This child is a sorcerer. Okay. Wow.
A few minutes go by. Eventually Remy comes back with just a bag and the usual weaponry. She's got this almost unreasonably large battle axe on her back.
Is that the one I think it is?
Forged of the same metal. I had to have it reforged a few times.
You forged it or your brother?
Brother. Yeah. He learned some enchanting and it was a marriage gift.
Nice. He had a lot of magic to him. He was great. He's great. Alright.
Shall I go up?
Yeah, I'll call her over. Oh. Xenia will try and beckon Rose like one of the Firebirds. Like,
Yeah, you know there's a couple firebirds in the area, and you can just connect to one of them, and they'll find her.
yeah.
She kind of.
You do have Thorn there for a quick flight spell if you want it.
I don't want to do that holding a baby.
Okay. Fair enough.
You see her kind of sit down next to you instead of across from you like she was before, and kind of press her shoulder against yours, just gently, looking at the kid.
She's really something.
You folks are strong, right?
Pardon?
You folks are strong, right?
Yeah.
I think something wants this kid.
Something?
Don't know what, but they've been chasing after us. that's where we're gonna leave it for today.
Okay. Well,
Alrighty.
so next week, I guess. That's gonna be interesting. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, stopping recording. Till next time.